this out of Africa, out of Kigali. And I love it, the fact, internet is working and so on. It really worked very well yesterday. Crystal said a couple of times one couldn't hear me so well for a minute or two. But yeah, so we're live on YouTube as well. Fantastic. So let me go back into the Zoom room now. Okay, back into the Zoom room. Okay, excellent. Yes, by the way, Dr. Jones, I can see you. Welcome, Dr. Jones. And please feel free to share everything with Wealth Fest Africa. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we shall get started. Great. So here is my PowerPoint presentation. Share screen. And yes, more people are still joining, but let's get started now and share. Fantastic. Okay. And okay, great. Can you see my screen? Let me just check. Madiha, can you see my screen? Thank you so much, Madiha. Great to see you, by the way. Okay, good. All right. Fantastic. All right. So, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, wonderful to have to see hundreds of you are joining again today for our second part in our Quantum Leap Africa series, The Big Global Reset. And today I will share 10 smart business concepts for Africa with you. So as I said, this is part 2. We had part 1 yesterday, and we had a packed Zoom room at full capacity with 500 participants, and a couple of thousands have also watched it on YouTube, which is fantastic. Now, today, again, I will share as much as I can with you during the course of this web class, including income models that work during a pandemic, and as we have learned during an economic downfall. Now, as I always say, I have so much information and knowledge in regards to doing business in Africa and investing on the continent the right way. For me, the right way means cutting down time, cutting down risk, and cutting down related cost. And in these turbulent times, we're in particular looking at the risks that we are experiencing through the pandemic. Now, for those of you who are not aware of my work, I would like to again quickly introduce myself. My name is Dr. Harnet. I'm a certified business trainer. I'm at the moment based in Rwanda, I'm very happy to say. I'm an Africa business coach and consultant, an entrepreneur, speaker, author, and a champion for Africa, and a proud mom of 2 sons. My work has been featured on Forbes Africa, the Africa Business Club of KLM Air France, the renowned Africa CEO Forum, and I also led a panel at the Africa Business Conference at Harvard University, and I spoke at Google in Silicon Valley. So before we dive in, I want to do a very quick recap. That's something we're always doing in trainings, and it's something that I take very seriously as a trainer, because you need to kind of renew some of the things that you have heard so information can turn into knowledge. But also for those of you who were unable to join yesterday, I actually would say, especially if you watch the replay, watch part 1 first. So this part makes more sense. So very quickly, of course, we are all here during a pandemic. It has impacted upon our lives in ways that we could not imagine. But we also learned yesterday that the pandemic is not the only challenge. Many of us are just waiting for it to go, to go over and to pass. we think that 2020 was really a challenging year, and we're looking forward to a renewed year in 2021. But unfortunately, it looks like things will not necessarily get easier. We don't know when the pandemic is going to finalize, but on top of that, we also learned yesterday that we are actually on the way into a big economic depression, and on a scale that is compared to the last Great Depression of 1929. So I urge again all of you to research that and to be aware of what's really going to come. We learned that, from mass unemployment, collapsing bank systems, collapsing financial systems, mass migration, supply chain challenges with empty shops that may not be refilled as quickly as we saw it happening in March 2020. And we also may see the rise of extremism and poverty. And again, economists are really foreseeing kind of worst situation that we had since the last 100 years, and that most of us will see, challenges on a level that we have not experienced in our generations. It is believed that the USA will be hit first and worst, together with Europe, possibly the United Kingdom at the center, and the rest of Europe following. And because of that, Africa will be impacted upon as well in economic terms. And we discussed yesterday how that may look like. We also learned yesterday that there is more to the economic depression, and that is the so-called Great Reset. We learned that this is really the brainchild of Mr. Klaus Schwab, who is the CEO and founder of the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum is a platform or a think tank on steroids that has been existing for 50 years, over 50 years actually. And we have the world's global leaders out of politics and businesses, basically planning how our world should look like. We also learned that the Great Reset is a new formula that will be based on 4 pillars. Number 1, on the green economy that should now expand worldwide. Global green economy, that's absolutely crucial to understand for any business or investment that you're planning, that this is the future. And if you're not taking care of the green economy aspect, you may need to dismantle your business or to change your business in the future, and it may cost you dearly. So if you are building now, be it as a startup or expanding your business, it is very, very important that you are taking into account how you can make your business green, so to position yourself early on. We also learned that the digital world will be the new normal. Further also, and that was of concern, I think, to many of us, that although artificial intelligence can be of a major use to humankind, there's also a lot of danger in that. And the Great Reset plans to basically attach all of us to their artificial intelligence so that people can be tracked, basically. And of course, that's not what they're saying. They're saying to keep us safe and to keep us, well organized and so on. But it has and bears also a lot of dangers if we are controlled like that. And then lastly, the other big aspect was sharing and caring. So a world that has been unjust, and I think we all agreed to that. And now the world leaders who have greatly contributed to that injustice are now deciding that we should really have a caring world. So we'll see how this turns out, but this is the new concept of a new world order that is not based on conspiracies, but on the World Economic Forum and the top leaders of this world. So we also said yesterday, it can hold a lot of risks for each and one of us, especially if we're not prepared, especially if we are based in a market that may be hit hard. So, or we are working in an industry that will be hit hard. So it's very important to be aware of the risks. And but we also learned that there may also be a lot of good opportunity in positioning yourself in that new global context. All right, so very important, and this is what I said yesterday, is that we all have a sense of urgency. It is really, really not the time to kind of just sit around and wait for things to either improve or to happen. They will happen, but probably not in your favor. And it is very, very important that each one of you is starting to prepare. That means diversify your income streams. That's very, very important. One business, one employment, one bank account, all of that is not enough. You have to diversify that across industries and possibly across markets, so that if one fails, you have another source of income. So you and your family can make it through what they call the next Great Depression of the century. And that is crucial. This work has to start now. I'm glad that so many of you are joining and really taking this in. But the most important aspect is to actually take action. And again, from my experiences, the masses will not take action. And I hope that the majority among you are among those who actually will. Now, today I'm going to show you 10 bulletproof business models you do not want to miss. So with bulletproof, I mean risk-proof as much as possible. Of course, there's nothing 100% proof in these times, but we're looking at business models that will be resistant and resilient during a pandemic and also during an economic downfall. Okay, so let me quickly check in with you. Is all good so far? Can we get started? Let me see. Are you in the right kind of mood? Are you focused? Are you determined? Are you? Some of you look rather sleepy. I think we need to change that. Maybe we should like, come on, let's get up. Come on, come on. Everyone gets up. Come on, let me see those of you on video. Come on, let's get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Okay, I'm not going to start until I can still see Asta is sitting. I can see Wallace is sitting. Shappy is sitting. Okay, so get up, all right, and jump. Don't worry about feeling like, feeling like this is strange or, okay, fantastic. Dr. Michael, what happened? You are not jumping. Okay. So, don't worry what other people think. That is number one rule if you want to become successful. Because I always teach my children, if you do what the masses do, chances are you will end up like the masses. The masses are not financially independent. The masses are not healthy and at their best energy. The masses are not content. The masses are not at inner peace. And the masses are not happy. And the masses are not changing the world or making an impact. And therefore, I always teach my academy members, be sure to not copy what the masses do, because you will end up like them. So it's good you showed up today. You're planning to do something different, which is great, but it starts with everything you do. And if you've been sitting down when I said, come on, let's get up and jump, then maybe ask yourself, why did I not join and jump? If you think that business is all about getting some good advice from Dr. Harnett that you can apply and then I will get successful, You are mistaken. Becoming successful and financially independent is all about your mindset. And as long as your mindset looks like that of the masses, again, chances are you will be hiding in the masses and end up like them. So start from today, do things differently. Okay, stand up again and jump. I'm joking. Okay. All right, so let's get started. All right, let's get started. Okay. What happened? Hold on. Okay. Can I see a yes? Are you ready? Can I see a big yes in the chat box? Are you ready? Tell me how ready you are for this. Are you ready, focused? Yes, yes. Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's get this started. Fantastic. Yeah, great. Yes, I am. And someone is sharing their screen. Look, Crystal, exactly this has happened. Okay, someone is sharing their screen. Hold on. Who is it? Ate. My dear colleague Ate is sharing his screen. Thank you, Ate. Okay. All right, so let's hop over to share screen. Okay, good. So let's get started. Business model number 1, remote working solutions. In an African context, I will explain in a minute how that can look like. In June 2020, 42% of the United States labor force is now working from home full time. This is a percentage that we can believe is growing. It's grown by now. And this is what it probably looks like across the globe, especially for those economies that are under lockdown. We suddenly see a huge workforce working from home. And guess what? A lot of people are not really prepared to have the solutions in place at home to make this a good experience for them. So here's what you can do. Number 1, you can create remote workspace software. And we've been looking into software with my team here in Kigali because we want to see how we can communicate better as a team, how we can, save things at a team and organize it. And guess what? Most of the solutions are coming somewhere out of the United States or out of Europe. We see hardly any software solutions were for remote working that have been produced in Africa for an African context. And so that is something I believe would make very strong positioning because frankly, had I known that there is a very good solution out there that is African owned, African run, based in Africa, I would have opted for it if it is competitive. And standing out in this regard is very, very simple because you will be one among the few. So if you have skills in software development, coding, things like that, or even just organizing things, coming up with a nice design, and then hiring someone who can do the coding for you, that is all that's needed. And look at the options that are out there and see how you can do something, first of all, that is competitive. Second of all, something that is, where you feel like a kind of an African context. So maybe, I don't know, include some for easy working, some quiet African music someone can put on while they're organizing their work. Maybe there is a little button that they can click. So beautiful traditional African music is coming together with the workspace. Maybe you're putting some kind of African patterns into it. All of that would be, just a way to show this is a new platform. I think there's so much space in this regard, and there is so much demand in this regard. And as we heard for the Great Reset, the world is going digital. And therefore, these kind of software solutions are needed, and they will the demand will be growing. So why do we all use American or European software solutions if we can really put our own footprint and make them relevant for an African context? You can, of course, think about what that could mean, and I think it would be absolutely brilliant. And by the way, most of them look boring. And for some reason, we think if something, it needs to be cool and competitive, it just needs to look as boring. I completely disagree. You can put it up there with beautiful African patterns. And by the way, I thought of it. There are no such things as North American patterns unless they're from the Native Americans, or European patterns. I mean, you can only use blue, blue and green or something, and put some dots, and that's it. But in Africa, almost every country has their own pattern, and there's meaning to it. And that in itself, would someone from Africa joining your remote working software would make that person very proud. Okay, so that was one opportunity. Another opportunity, look at this. To the left-hand side, you can see a wood workshop. You will find these all over Africa. There are markets where one wood workshop is next to the other, and it's very dusty there and very loud, and they're producing local furniture, but they're producing things that they have always produced. You will very rarely see a workshop that is standing out and producing things that are different or unique or of very high quality. Usually one wood shop produces exactly what the wood shop next door is producing and what they have been producing for the last 20 years. Now, looking at remote working spaces and solutions, look at, for example, these small tables for laptops. There's one that can be turned into a bag as well. You could use maybe beautiful African print to do that. That one with the turquoise print sells for $56. It was actually euros, so over 60 euros on Amazon. So why not create workspace solutions like that in Africa? This is brilliant for those of you who are based on the continent. So this is a business model that you cannot run from abroad. You have to be on the continent, but is a beautiful business model that you can start on a shoestring budget. So for those of you who don't have a lot of money to get started. The other idea is that you come up with remote working packages where you actually facilitate the remote working. And this is a new concept, or maybe it is not really new actually. It has gained a lot of attraction and interest among a lot of governments. So basically what it is that people like myself, who are basically digital nomads, and we can work from anywhere in the world. We could basically sit anywhere in the world as long as there is a good internet connection. Now, I mean, that is of course a bit of a challenge because of the lockdown. But what has happened is that in many countries, as a result of the lockdown, they're looking for tourists. And the tourism industry is suffering badly, very badly. And a lot of countries, governments, have come up with remote working visas. So basically, because of the pandemic, they said, we have not enough tourists, but let's invite those guys with the laptops that can work from anywhere. And these visas range from 3 months to 1 year, and in some countries, even multiple years. So why not facilitate that? In Africa right now, Mauritius is, as far as I'm aware, the only country in Africa, is an island, the East African coast. Mauritius is the only, a bit further down into the ocean. It's the only country that has facilitated a remote working visa. Now, you can be the one who creates a business model around that. Look what can be done in this regard, either in Mauritius or in other African countries. I even believe if you're on the ground and you have good connections to the tourism board or the Ministry of Tourism, this is something that you could discuss with them, and you could facilitate that, putting these kind of packages together where you facilitate the visa, and above all, you promote the opportunity, and you support people who would like to do that. Another good country to do it at the moment is Tanzania, because it doesn't believe in the lockdown, so it's kind of open. And there may be other countries in Africa who take a more, let's call it either laid back approach to the coronavirus, or they have not really been impacted upon. So all of these countries may be good destinations, but the ones that are really promoting it right now with a special visa is Mauritius. Business model number 2, create virtual realities and African experiences. This could mean that you put together virtual realities or experiences online, including arts or the museums across Africa, real estate models for investors. The supervision of construction is now often done virtually, because the entire management team that has been working in an office or cannot come to the site. So that is also an upcoming area. It remains to be seen if this could be something of great value in certain countries in Africa where a lot of construction in infrastructure and real estate has been happening. Something to research. And of course, creating platforms and virtual realities for events. There are planned events, so companies and people and businesses that would like to plan events this year and beyond. But then there are also those who are still kind of hoping for their in-person event, and you can still see the announcement of offline conferences, so in-person conferences across Africa. Well, we're not sure they will be happening. So what about you putting together an events platform, or using an existing one, but helping conference organizers to transfer their conferences and events online? And you could create a business around that, because guess what? Africa was huge for events organization, and it's really been affected badly in this regard. And if you want to know the top 3 countries for conference production in Africa are Morocco, South Africa, and Rwanda. Those 3 are the top 3 across the continent, and that means that they have banked a lot on events, tourism as well. So delegates that are coming for major conferences would leave also a lot of money in the economy, and all of that has been put to a halt. I believe that there is huge opportunity for those of you who have either the skills to put something like this together, or again, to use an existing online virtual events platform, but then be the go-to person. And I always like to say the go-to authority for virtual conferences and events in Africa or in a certain country. You should really start with one country. And I would start with one of the top countries, Morocco, South Africa, or Rwanda. Having said that, many conferences happened also in countries such as Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana. I think these 3 countries would probably be in second place. So a virtual tour is something that is already existing for other museums across the world. For example, there's a picture of a virtual tour of the Louvre in Paris. And well, Africa doesn't have any of that. And I believe that there's an opportunity for you to reach out, for example, to some of the leading museums that you have in Kenya, Ghana, Cameroon. We have some great African museums there. South Africa, of course, the Genocide Museum here in Rwanda also, which I have visited many times. You know, really a very, very you know, a very, very deep experience. You usually come out of it impacted upon in terms of what humankind was able to do to each other, you know. And I think it is of great value that people who cannot travel, and if they are looking for entertainment and for education online for themselves, for their children, even schools, if you had like an understanding with one of the museums to put together a virtual tour of the museum where you explain also what's, you know, everything that is being presented in the museum, you explain the history behind that and the stories behind that. I really believe it would be of great value, and you would find a you know, a ready base of buyers to access your virtual tours. You could also put together virtual tours in cooperation with art galleries. There are some beautiful art galleries across Africa featuring African art. By the way, African art is the next big thing. You know, if you go to the auction houses in London, for example, some of the best auction houses, you will find that some African art is selling for millions of pounds now. So you could cooperate with art galleries, not only in Africa, but also wherever you are. There are African art galleries, you know, in the United Kingdom, in the US. You could put together kind of virtual tour, but also featuring the artists and their work. Because frankly, people would love to do and look at it. I myself have to confess, I already looked at one of those because I'm looking for artwork, you know, for the new house. Now I can't go to the art gallery, and I kind of, someone shared it, stumbled upon it, and I looked at the pictures and I said, this is beautiful. So again, people are staying at home. They want to make sure that their homes are, you know, featuring beautiful art. Even during a during pandemic anyway, but during economic downfall, you will still have rich investors who are looking for cheap pieces because of the economic downfall. And we know that a lot of people get very, very rich during these great recessions and these great depressions. So not everyone is without money during those times. The other thing that you could put up is a virtual real estate investing company. So we will have a lot of people who would want to continue to invest in housing. Again, especially those who actually do have the money for it and who would like to, number one, get affordable deals now, really great deals during the, you know, the economic downfall. So what's one person's pain is unfortunately another person's gain. And we also know that many of you want to diversify their assets, and you're possibly looking into real estate, to put your money into real estate in Africa, where you either want to move into in the future, or just because you know that your money will probably not be very safe in the United States over the next few years to come. So as we can see, there's a lot of demand for this, and you could put together a virtual real estate investing company. I would focus on one particular market, possibly a market that is, number one, very, very popular. So if you are, for example, featuring to the diaspora, the African diaspora, then Ghana is a very popular destination, or Nigeria. Rwanda is also popular, Kenya as well. If you're looking for you know, competitive real estate in terms of some of the best buildings and the most beautiful real estate on the continent. You will find that also in South Africa, very competitive if you feature, if you are serving, for example, foreign investors, high income individuals. And then you also want to look at markets that are safe in terms of governance. So there's no really like a risk of conflict and terrorism and war and all these things that are still sadly happening across our continent, including in my own region. It's very, very sad that we have to witness that in the 21st century. You would want to look at markets such as Botswana and Namibia, which have long-standing peace and good governance, and also very good security and very low corruption in comparison to other countries in Africa. Business model number 3, e-learning and training. We discussed it briefly yesterday. Of course, this is an area that will only grow, both for children and also for adults. And one of you asked yesterday, both is absolutely possible. If you're a teacher or you have to teach something that would be of great value to children at any age, absolutely, I believe there's huge space for you. It could fluctuate a little bit in regards to the demand, depending on the lockdown situation in a country. So you may see some fluctuation in demand, which is sometimes a little bit of a challenge for a business, especially if you're a startup. I would hence personally focus on the e-learning and training of, number 1, adults, individuals, and businesses. And there is a lot of space for you to come in. Important is that you really look at, okay, what am I going to teach? And since we have discussed yesterday in detail that we are experiencing basically 2 crises, the pandemic, and now we're heading into a Great Depression, as they're saying. We're already in a recession in many countries. And therefore, it's important that you teach content that is relevant during both times. That's what I believe. So, sorry, actually, yes, we'll stay here. Sorry, what I wanted to add was, in my view, that is anything around business and how to make money, especially when people are struggling, they lost their jobs. So skills around that, how to set something up, how to make money, also health related training, and further skills that would allow people to either build a business around those skills, or that would allow people to live a better and healthier life, and maybe a simpler life. I think what we will see is we will go back to simplicity. Well, if you remember the movie, the short clip from the World Economic Forum, it said, you will owe nothing and you will be happy. I mean, that was of, well, to me, it's of huge concern to some extent, because it sounds like a socialist or communist idea, and that has never worked out in the history of humankind, really in practical terms. But in any way, throughout the pandemic and throughout an economic downfall, I think a lot more people are simplifying their lives. And therefore, if you have skills around that, I think that's something that people would, spend money on. Business model number 4, affordable shelter, homes, and interior. So again, the right to shelter and the need for shelter and homes is a basic human right, is a basic human necessity. And therefore, no matter what happens, that demand will remain across the globe. What I believe, however, is that the kind of shelter people are looking for will shift. So at this point, people are not looking possibly for posh city apartments. They're possibly not looking for big villas with 7 bedrooms. We will find more and more people looking for something affordable, something simple. And there's 2 ways of affordable. There's really affordable for those with a lower spending power. So affordable housing, as the government calls it, is a huge sector in Africa. And it is, frankly, a priority agenda for many African governments. Affordable housing is one of the top agendas. And therefore, there's a lot of space for you to come in when you have a housing solution. The one in the middle, for example, is a affordable housing solution, quite unique, from South Africa. But then there's also people like, let's say us, you and me, where we have a higher kind of income compared with the lower income streams in Africa, because we may be paid by the West, or we have, US dollars and euros and sterlings. And therefore, we can maybe afford something more expensive. But even among the diaspora, even among Africans with the highest spending power, we see now and friends of Africa also, we have people moving also to Africa. We see a greater demand for simple, affordable housing that a newcomer can, purchase. And the one on the left-hand side, on the top, that one is actually from Rwanda, and the last time I checked, it cost about 15,000 US dollar. So 15,000 US dollar is like a 1-bedroom accommodation that you can purchase. It's prefabricated, and you will find these kind of solutions in Africa, but not enough. So if you can bring that into Africa, number one, and number two, if you can make it green, in terms of green housing, we heard the green economy is the future, then I think this makes very strong positioning. On top of that, if you have skills or a talent in interior design, let me tell you, that is so much needed on the continent. There is a lack of skill in this regard, and frankly, almost every house you walk into kind of looks the same. And then I look into videos in Ghana, and the house inside looks kind of the same than the house inside in Rwanda, where I am looking, And so there is simply, and then you have the modern houses, and even they look kind of all the same. So what's really missing is interior design skills, and there's only a few of them around. And what you can do is, with your interior design skills, there's many opportunities. Number one is you can, of course, offer your services to individuals who want to build a house, and they want, a beautiful interior inside that matches their own taste. But you can also partner with real estate agents, because guess what? Since I moved, meeting with a few of them, they say sometimes it's so difficult to make a good case for the house, be it in the photography that you want to put on, online on your real estate platform, or even when you walk someone into the house to show them the house, because frankly, the interior is not up to scratch. And they said we would have a much easier way to sell the house if we had someone come in to, make the interior look good. So there is also that opportunity for you to partner with existing real estate agents and those who are running these major real estate platforms. And then, of course, you can also design and manufacture beautiful furniture and home accessories. A lot of space in this market for you to come in. Or maybe let me go back, sorry. And if you, as you can see, what I want to say here, as you can see, a few of these skills are high capital intensive. So possibly if you want to put up a manufacturing kind of company to design certain material that, prefabricated walls, for example, or ecologic eco solutions. That may be a little bit more capital intensive, but as we've just seen, you can also become a consultant in this regard. Or the interior consultant. So that is something, in fact, that you could be running from abroad. Since some of you are not ready to move into Africa, the consultancy around that is something that you can very much manage from abroad. Business model number 5, and I hope you're still focusing. I hope you're still focusing. Let me actually check, because sometimes it almost looks like I'm talking to myself. Okay, yay, you're still all there. Full room again, 500 people, fantastic. Can I see you waving on? Okay, excellent, thank you, great. Yes, love it, okay. Room at full capacity on YouTube as well, I hope. Give us a sign, a thumbs up, let us know you're there on YouTube, and we shall continue. Okay. Have I been sharing? No. Okay, share. All right. So then business model number 5 is anything around agriculture and healthy foods. I will say it again and again, this is a very important business model, not only according to Strive Mathiwia, he's a business module from Zimbabwe, and he is one of the best that we have in my view. He's also very, very engaged with the youth in Africa and training them, and you know, giving his free advice to them. And I really appreciate that, because there are not many out there among the African business leaders who are actually sharing their advice. And Strive says that you know, the food industry in Africa will be the next billion-dollar industry globally, because not only do Africans need to eat every single day, but the globe will also be looking for sources and supplies of food. So it's a huge market, and I think now it has become, well, I would say now, it has become so much more relevant, because it is a market, or an industry rather, that will continue to operate throughout a pandemic and even throughout a global depression. Yes, it will go through challenges as well, just like any other industry, but it will continue to operate. It will not be locked down, it will not be stopped, because everyone needs to eat every single day. And therefore, this is huge, you know, in terms of the context we are facing at the moment. So here are a couple of examples that I think will really be top. One is for you to produce or trade dried fruits. And the reason why I say produce or trade is often very difficult to do everything. I do not advise, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, to do the planting, to do then the processing and packaging, and to then do the trading as well, or the retail. That is far too much to take on in the beginning. When you get started for the very first time, choose one of these aspects in the value chain, focus on the production, or focus on you know, buying the fruits from those who produce it, and you are focusing on the processing, or you have people who have done all of that and you just find the buyers. You're focusing on the trading aspect. Later on, you can take up more aspects in the value chain. So dried fruit, guess what? I mean, we see here a solar cooker. You can start very easily. I think a mistake that many of us make is that we want to start with the full-blown, you know, manufacturing kind of company. We put a lot of investment in. That is never a good idea in Africa, because frankly, you need to test your market first, and that can only be done in real terms. You do not have the market data anywhere in Africa that you would have in the West. And therefore, it's very important as a strategy to start small, make a small investment, such as this solar cooker here, and try it out first. This sister here is a lady in Egypt. She has a little bit more of a sophisticated kind of processing form, but I would say it is also something that doesn't look possibly too expensive. I mean, you know, you could have maybe like a very simple base out of stones, and then you layer the fruit if it's a sun-dried fruit, and then you have something to cover it, which is of course very important. And then you have the very bottom, it is also a solar solution here, where actually the dryer oven is set under solar panels. This particular picture actually comes from Austria, Europe. But I think, you know, these are the kind of solutions that we will need in Africa. It is solar powered, it's absolutely perfect, and it doesn't look like a huge investment. But guess what? Why not start with a solar cooker to dry your fruits? In fact, let me share a story. One of the expats here in Rwanda, and he has shared it with the entire expat community, so it's been out there in the open space. What he has done is he has taken a satellite dish, so which looks similar in form, right, to the solar cooker. He has taken an old satellite dish, and then he put alu foil on it, and he sun-dried tomatoes on it. And then he said, would anyone like my sun-dried tomatoes? And people in the expat group went crazy. Yes, yes, because you can't get them anywhere in Kigali. And so it's a rarity, it's healthy food, it's something that people would appreciate. How much has he invested in getting this started? I don't know, $30? Solar cooker, a old dish, alu foil, and he bought a few tomatoes. That's how you should get started to test your market. Absolutely, I love those kind of startup stories where you really test the market in real time without putting much into it. Can he grow into East Africa's biggest sun-dried tomato supplier and be Africa's largest exporter of sun-dried tomato in the future? Absolutely. But the beauty is, he started with, I would say, less than $50. Okay, so dried fruit is a very good concept for all of you who are into agriculture, food processing, and trading. If you are not in Africa on the ground, guess what? You can trade the dried fruit. And this is a brilliant concept because the demand for dried fruit is absolutely skyrocketing at the moment in the Western world. If you ask people in supermarkets, especially in regards to healthy food, they will tell you it is dried fruits. I've done some of that research, and it is absolutely trending and will continue to do so. It also has a longer shelf life, which is very important, because trading fresh fruit is full of risk because of the short shelf life. And then frankly, you will find dried fruit not much in Africa. I mean, they are available, but it's not something that common, and it is a healthy snack with a longer shelf life. Or grow trade superfoods. So if you don't want to do fruits, I would focus on superfoods. Again, the demand for superfoods in Africa is growing very, very fast. People are so concerned with their health. And that was an issue already prior to the pandemic. I shared before that when I was in Kenya, the last year, or actually now the year before, there was a health scare going a health scare going around in regards to cancer, because Kenya lost a few of their politicians due to cancer in a short time frame of 2-3 months. And so it was all over the news, and taxi drivers would talk about it, and it was in the newspapers. And I remember that taxi driver in Nairobi, he said, "We Kenyans, we are dying, we're dying." And he told me then how scared he was, to die from cancer. Now this has been happening to the politicians. So, but we see it across Africa. Now only exaggerated. Why am I using these difficult words when I have actually problems pronouncing them? So we will see an increase. The same happened yesterday. We'll see an increase of demand in superfoods across the world, including in Africa. Now, the beauty with that, several things. First of all, as a strategy, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, when you think about what shall I grow in Africa or what shall I sell in regards to food items, think about food items that are in demand locally, regionally, and internationally. Because that really allows for the big expansion in future. If you're selling a local vegetable, yes, there may be demand for it locally, but then can you expand that regionally and internationally? You will already have a lack of demand in this regard very often. And so leave that to the traditional farmers who, and you can of course grow their capacity in that. I would focus on non-traditional food items, or some of them are kind of traditional, but they're only gaining a lot of, the interest in it is gaining now some momentum. And these are the superfoods such as moringa, baobab powder, chia seeds, these pumpkin seeds and so on. Here I have in my cupboard pumpkin seeds, and I also have pumpkin seed powder, which I've never seen before in Europe. I think it was made in Kenya or made in Rwanda. I always look, by the way, when I go shopping on the label, I buy as much as I can a locally made product or in the region. Because why? Well, it cuts down carbon and it supports the local farmers and businesses. And this pumpkin powder, it's fantastic. It's full of iron and zinc, and we don't eat much meat, so I know my kids are getting their nutrients by putting that into porridge. There's a lot of demand for this. It's growing. Focus on it. I also love the idea of blueberries, although I don't think they can be dried, or maybe they can. I actually don't know. They possibly can. I've never seen a dried blueberry, but yeah, I'm sure they can. For muesli, right? Porridge. Blueberries. It is a power berry. However, it is hardly available in Africa. In fact, you will be struggling to find it anywhere, really. Okay, so let's continue. Oh, here's an opportunity I want to let you know. So for those of you interested in the trading of food items from Africa, of course, we have our online training that I will be also introducing shortly today. And that is our Importing from Africa training. And as I said with you, we assessed with our team again the resilience of my business in times of a pandemic and in times of an economic downfall. And I said, I'm glad we chose food items, because that is now pandemic proof and economic downfall proof. If I had been selling, as much as I may love them, black African dolls or something like that for children, well, then business may be closed right now. So that is also something that we have to consider. We talked about that yesterday. And that is why it is so important to understand the context of our global economy and what's happening and how it will be impacting upon Africa. Because yeah, you could love doing all sorts of stuff, all sorts of businesses and ventures. The question is now, is it risk proof? Or at least can risk be reduced? And I said, this is certainly a strength in my business compared with maybe some other e-commerce platforms that are not trading food. So again, there's an opportunity today to join our Importing from Africa program. I tell you a little bit more about that. And I also want to make a shout out to those of you who have, let's call it, major social media platforms. And there will only be a few of you. So those who have existing social media platforms focusing on Africa, and you want to enter into an affiliate partnership with me, I have decided to do this for the very, very first time. And again, I have always kind of shied away from it. So again, I'm doing it this time because I know how many of you are struggling or will be struggling during the pandemic and the economic downfall. And I just want to make new opportunities open and available. So if you have a social media platform, send me the link, send me some information. But again, it needs to be a successful one, and you need to know what you're doing. So if you just have a Facebook page, that's not enough. Okay, so business model number 6, e-commerce and delivery. Well, of course, people will be buying online. And I think one of the major potential that is existing for you is you can either create your own e-commerce platform, or much easier, you actually bring together products of businesses that are struggling right now. So as we know, a lot of businesses had to close their shops, or you also have supermarkets, restaurants, and hotels that are struggling, and you can actually become the person that is aggregating those products and putting together an e-commerce platform. Important is that you are focusing on a specific niche. So ordering a burger from a restaurant, yes, might be an opportunity, but there are probably already other companies that are allowing for the delivery of the burger from a restaurant. So what else is it that you could do? Maybe, for example, look at Superfoods in your city, in the supermarkets, small shops and so on, from farmers, and see if you could somehow aggregate that, or even non-food items, possibly even, I don't know, some products that could be sold online in regards to pharmaceuticals. I have not seen any pharmaceuticals online, and of course there are some that need a prescription from the doctor. I'm not talking about that, but simple over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, I think that would be a great way to start an e-commerce business. Frankly, I have not seen any in that regard yet. So it's almost like an online, I think most of you in the US or UK would call it drugstore. Okay, or delivery. The delivery can be done either you are importing a small fleet of motorbikes, but in most countries you will have the motorbikes locally. You can potentially partner with an existing company, and what you really do is you put the brand together, the idea, and you do the promotion. And then you can partner with an existing local company that can deliver it. And absolutely, that's how I would get started. Again, because it's always good to test your business model in Africa with a minimum input of capital. Try that first. Once that is working, 2, 3, 5 years down the line, you can import your own vehicles, for example. Business model number 7, eco-technologies. Eco-technologies, absolutely. And here are some wonderful examples, but there's so much more out there. One is greenhouse. A greenhouse. Well, the demand for greenhouses will be growing, in my view. More and more people are seeing the opportunity in agriculture. More youth in Africa are seeing the opportunity in agriculture. But guess what? When economic challenge hits, and people are actually deprived of their income sources, their traditional income sources from their jobs and so on, they will go into agriculture to feed themselves and also to make sure they have an additional income. And I believe we will see a growth in that, not just among existing farmers and the youth, but also among former bankers, teachers, and so on, you name it, who will see the big potential in agriculture, and it's very profitable as well. But then there's also people who may actually just want a small greenhouse. I love the one that is on the picture. Look at the beautiful design. You know, this can be most surely easily be manufactured in Africa. You just need the plastic cover that you probably need to import. I know they have it in Tanzania because we inquired about it in Rwanda, and they said they imported it from Tanzania. And then you have the wood that you have locally. You know, it's all about the design and have people manufacturing it. And then you could sell this to people with gardens. I mean, there's a lot of people out here with big houses across the continent with large gardens. And again, if they are going through a pandemic where they're staying at home and maybe they're bored and they're going into gardening, or they have financial challenges, this would sell well to individuals as well, I believe. And on a greater scale, of course, than to companies or entrepreneurs, right? On the right-hand side, we have treadmills. But these are not just any treadmills. These are treadmills that can produce electricity. Isn't that beautiful? That is actually something I heard about you know, a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to start something like that. Just because I was so amazed by what can be done. And these treadmills are actually producing electricity and energy. And so, you know, this could be done in several ways. I mean, I know during the lockdown, many of these kind of fitness centers have been closed. But I also believe that many would like to have this in their own homes or houses. How cool would it be to be on a treadmill and know you are producing your own energy? And yesterday, if you remember, we talked about the fact that it's about becoming self-sufficient because times are going to get very difficult in many countries. And the more self-sufficient you are, the better it is, you know. So beautiful solutions that can be done. Of course, the treadmill would need to be imported, but then it will be set up to a system locally. It can be done. Okay, so business model number 8, logistics and supply chains. Logistics and supply chains, again, is an area, an industry where we will see a lot of challenges, a lot of gaps, and a lot of demand for, let's say, you know, better solutions, and also for solutions that will guide us through an economic downfall, where we will actually see a major disruption of supply chains across the world. Now, the logistic and supply chain industry in Africa has already been challenged, you know, or remains challenged. It is basically poorly developed across the continent. There's so much space for you to come in. But I believe that, you know, these kind of poor supply chains will suffer even more when the global supply chains are disrupted. And there's so much space again for you to come in. I just want to share one example or a couple of them. So one is, for example, that you go into the area of cold storage. And the kind of cold storage you see here, it exists in Africa. There's even a company in Nigeria that assembles them, possibly in other countries as well. Do your research, it would be easy to find out. And they're solar powered. And because they are solar powered, they become self-sufficient. And that is really the key word, especially during a global disruption in supply chain and economic downfall, where you have major challenges with electricity. and you have those challenges already in Africa, so they will only be increased. Now, we've done our research, so if you want to take a pen and paper, so roughly the investment for such a cold store is around $15,000 depending, let's say 15 to 20,000, but you can get one 15,000. It depends, of course, on the size as well. So 15 to 20,000 includes everything. It would include the material, the import where you are, and the installation. And that would be your investment, right? And now what you would do is you would position these kind of cold stores next to local markets, must be popular markets. And of course, you need the go-ahead from the local administration to do so. And what happens now is that farmers at the end of the day, instead of taking their produce home, which they very often can't because they're coming from outside of the city, and in very hot climates in particular, things like tomatoes will perish in a day or two in the immense heat. So would they rather throw everything away that could not be sold, or would they rather pay you to put the produce in your cold store? And the answer is they would usually rather pay you, because the loss of the harvest would be much greater cost. And we have made our calculations with a company in Nigeria. So your income would be from one storage would be $1,000 to $1,500 per month. Okay. Now that may not be enough to live on for some of you. I can tell you, you can actually live quite comfortably with $1,000 to $1,500 per month in any African country or city, if you live a simple life, or you live a little bit on the outskirts. So it depends on what your standards are and what you're expecting, but you can actually make a living from that. And in some countries and areas, you can actually make a very good living out of that, especially if you decide to live in the countryside. I mean, then you're really the king with $1,000 or the queen. And so that is a beautiful investment in that regard. But what I also see it as is an amazing, shall we call it, well, investment in terms of saving your money in a safe place. We discussed yesterday and heard in detail that there are major challenges coming up to the global economy. And if you are counting on your US dollars that you have saved in your bank account, or your pounds or euros, well, then think again, do your research. That's what I said yesterday. And they're expecting the inflation. I checked again. I mean, I listened to a couple of more economists, and most of them believe that the inflation will actually happen this year. And then, of course, it depends on how much this whole thing will go down, and how much the banking sector will come to a fall. But this is a beautiful way to really actually put your money into another place. And you're making your money back, in about a year and a half. And I'm saying a year and a half because the first 3-4 months you may not make as much, because you need to win clients over, that takes a few months. So you will make your money back in, let's say, a year to a year and a half. And after that, it is a beautiful passive income stream. You just need a couple of people to work there. You don't need to be there every day. And above all, it's a great way to put your money into another place, and it's actually earning you more money. Much safer than having it sitting right now in a US bank account or a UK bank account. Much safer. But on top of it, the impact you're making is great, and you're actually making a lot of interest, return on your investment. Okay. Business model number 9, self-development. Self-development, anything around self-development, money and health. Yes, and that young man here that I brought that picture, and the reason I brought his young picture, his picture is because I actually watched his video and I thought, okay, great, I love that video. Let me just use that picture. And he is talking about his journey of starting a YouTube channel. And he started in 2017, so that is not long ago. I have to say he is very, very consistent. He is posting one video every day, and that's not a simple thing to do. So he's hardworking and has immense consistency. But it's being bringing fruits. And now the last year, he made 1.8 million US dollars on his YouTube channel. And he showed all the figures. 1.8 million. He has 2 YouTube channels now, and they're ping-ponging each other. And he does it with advertising and then also selling other people's products, affiliate products. What I've shared earlier on with my Importing from Africa program. I invite, well-positioned affiliate partners. So he's selling that as well on his YouTube channel, and he's also selling advertising. So wonderful. I'll be following him because I'm not making 1.8 million US dollar from my YouTube channel. And therefore, there's a lot I can learn from him. Okay, so just to let you know, how much does it cost you to open a YouTube channel? It doesn't cost you anything. And you can upload the videos with your phone. He teaches, I have to say, skills and knowledge around finance and investing, because he has been investing for many years. So that was his previous job in real estate, investing, also in other areas. Good for him, really. He's very young, and that's something also that we can teach others. That's what I said. I think the best areas right now are money and health and survival skills. If you have any of those or around those, sales skills and so on, I think, why not? Why don't you open a YouTube channel either as a business? It's a business these days, seriously. And I don't know if my sons are watching. They've been watching yesterday. But I say it openly, if someone would ask me, would you rather have your son become a banker or a lawyer or a YouTuber? I would say a YouTuber. And I know I'm probably breaking a lot of, expectations in this regard that other parents would have. And maybe, the generation here, especially in Africa, because you always think, okay, educate and then get a good job. But we have learned now that, number one, we're facing a complete kind of turmoil across the world. Your job is not safe, first of all. Second of all, I wouldn't want my son to sit in a cubicle in an office, basically, from morning to evening. Where there's no impact he's making in the wider world and not really living his passion. So here you go. Why don't you start? We're a family of YouTubers already. Me, my dad, and well, I don't consider myself really a real YouTuber. I only come on YouTube occasionally, but maybe that shall change if I try to figure out how to make 1.8 million on YouTube. Okay, so that just on the side. Yeah, you can, of course, also become a consultant, a coach, a trainer, selling your packages online like myself. There's a lot of demand for these things. It's not easy to pull it off because you have to, you wrap your head around really the online world. But hey, it can be done. And maybe this is your time. Business model number 10 and the last one, and we still have full room here on Zoom with 500 of you. Fantastic, and many of you joining us on YouTube. Thank you so much for staying engaged and focused. So business model number 10, I shared this before, are climate change solutions and products. And this young lady from Chad, she's saying, when they say the forest is burning, it's not just the language of expression, it's our real home that's burning. Hindu is her name, president of the Association for Indigenous Women and People of Chad. So also look at the picture to the left-hand side. I think, where could this be? Maybe Somalia or somewhere in Kenya. So I really believe that you know, a lot of communities in Africa especially will be very, very vulnerable, and that is because the ecosystems in which they live are very vulnerable ecosystems. So you have a lot of drylands in Africa. People are really just living off some of the basic resources. Not everyone is as lucky as Rwanda, getting so much rain, but in terms of, you know, rain, in terms of feeding the crops, you have a lot of drylands that don't get any rain, and then suddenly when the rain comes down, it just creates a flood, and you can't do anything during the dry season, and then you can't do anything once the land is flooding. And so communities across Africa are heavily impacted upon already, but then, as we have also heard, this is a huge topic for the generations to come, and we should become part of it. And I want to send you this reminder. The European Union has decided to become carbon neutral by 2050, and you know, Jeff Bezos, who we can see here in the picture, the CEO of Amazon, which has become an entire empire, global empire. And the question is not if we agree with Amazon or we disagree with the concept of Amazon, but he has said that he wants to actually, let's say, beat the European Union by 10 years. And he wants his company to become carbon neutral by 2040, completely carbon neutral. And then we saw that the whole idea of a green economy, a global green economy, is one that is also part of the Great Reset that our global leaders are talking about in the World Economic Forum. So that's just to give you a little bit more context that this is really the direction of the future. I'm a big believer in reducing the impact on climate change. I already said to my children, next time we're in Nairobi and we're going to Mombasa to the beach, we're not going to fly anymore. We're going to take the train, because we will cut our carbon footprint by 90%, 90, just by taking the train. Okay, so I shared this before, but let me share it again because it's so beautiful. And that is the billion-dollar seaweed production in the world. It's a billion-dollar industry. Seaweed is being produced for food supplements, but also for biodegradable packaging, as we can see below. So can you see the cups? You can pour, you know, juice in it, or tea or coffee. It will not dissolve immediately. That would be terrible. But it will dissolve after a few days if it's in touch with water or, you know, soil. And the seaweed production in Africa is almost non-existent. The people who are really doing it the best and the most at the moment are the people of Zanzibar, off the Tanzanian coast. And their seaweed production is alive and kicking. But hey, we have an entire coast around the entire continent, and many countries in Africa that actually have direct access to the sea. And this is something that can be produced, and out of that you can produce biodegradable packaging. Look at the beautiful waffles. They're also packaged, and they're packaged in paper made out of seaweed. So absolutely 100% degradable and very fast, with no real impact on the environment. Although some impact on the environment can happen if you're, of course, over farming seaweed in certain areas. And so that also needs to be carefully addressed. So this is one that I'm going to promote again and again and again. And I always said, you know, one day my dream, we don't have access to the sea here in Rwanda. You can't have it all. But one day I will go back to my beautiful country, Eritrea, and we have a beautiful long coastline. And I will be investing in seaweed production with the beautiful people of the Danakil area, and that is a way to create really jobs for people, especially also in these dry lands, but above all, to position yourself in a marketplace that is one that is upcoming, and you can be among the first. There's so many other ways to produce packaging and things like that, like these caps out of biodegradable material, not just seaweed. So do your research. That's the way forward. And to be honest, each time I take a takeaway here in Rwanda, although Rwanda is going towards a green economy, and they're very, very well aware you are not allowed to bring plastic into the country, plastic bags, for example. But one thing is these takeaway containers, terrible. These aluminum takeaway containers. So I said, I'm going to pack my own containers now. Or sometimes I tell them, no, just put it in a bag, like in a paper bag. And they still come with that little aluminum container. So if you're in Rwanda, I feel that needs to be changed. Or anywhere across Africa. You eat it, some kind of leftover, and then you throw it away. Guess what? It will take 30 years to degrade into the soil. And we do this all the time with stuff that we buy. So I agree, this actually needs to change, and we all need to become more aware. And here again, Lorna Ruto, she's a young Kenyan entrepreneur. I absolutely love her startup story. So basically, she has made it her business to collect all the, all the rubbish, the plastic rubbish in Kenya. And out of that plastic rubbish, she's shredding it, and then she creates beautiful poles. These poles that she's creating out of the plastic rubbish can be used for fencing, for construction, and so on. So again, a very, very great business that will help to avoid for this plastic to end up in our oceans. For those of you who are environmentally aware, you will know that the plastic in the oceans is a major hazard to our global ecosystem. So yes, that is just another idea. You can replicate that anywhere in Africa. Possible business models in regards to the green economy is, of course, that you manufacture green building material, as we have seen it with Lorna Ruto from Kenya. I would be one of the first purchasing it. It's very difficult to find it. The house I'm building, I've been really researching how can I make sure I have a low carbon footprint building the house. So I make sure that most of what I have in my house is local material as much as I can, including the furniture, the tiles. Yes, it may not look as shiny or modern like the stuff that's being imported from China and Dubai. And frankly, most of the modern houses that you will see and purchase in Africa, they look all nice inside, but that material is imported. It's neither manufactured in Africa, and you will have a high carbon footprint bringing your couch or your chair or whatever from China. So even our local office in Kigali, I'm very happy to say I decided I don't need to look like any other office. It's not about looking posh and sleek, because that's what people used to. I got the entire office furniture from Rwanda, okay, locally made, except for the chairs. because we're sitting there for hours. So I got like, well, one of these boss chairs. I have to confess to that. But everything else is locally made. And it was a very clear decision. I discussed it with my team. Our office will look different, but it will look beautiful. And we have cut our carbon emission. I'm just sharing this because there will be more and more people thinking like that. And more people, even if you do not think like that, you will soon need to think like that, because the green economy is already part of the Great Reset. Okay, so start early. So manufacture green building material. You will be standing out at the moment. Hardly anyone is doing it really in Africa. Very few. There are a few, and if you are among them, by the way, please reach out to me. If you're among a manufacturer of green building material or green solutions, please contact me. I want to feature you on my YouTube channel. So number 2, offer green transport solutions. Number 3, social enterprise tree planting. This is beautiful. There is a global company that I support. It's called 8 billion trees. But I have heard of a similar company in Kenya also, and maybe other areas in Africa. 8 billion trees is also working in Africa, by the way. But there's also a Kenyan company. Unfortunately, I've lost the contact details. If you know them, send them to me, please. And that is that basically there are people now and companies across the world who want to offset their carbon. And as part of their social responsibility, they want to, make donations. And these donations will then be used to plant trees in their name. So I am a member of 8 billion trees, so I pay a monthly amount. And then I don't know the amount, I really don't know the numbers. I should, but I don't right now. So let's say I'm, paying $50 each month. Now with $50, I'm offsetting a certain amount of kg carbon. And that will allow me to balance out my footprint of the carbon emission that I produce in my house or driving somewhere or so. Okay, so and that is a beautiful business model you can start anywhere in Africa, because what you would be doing is you would be collecting basically the money, the donations, and then that money would go to local communities who do the tree planting for your company. And of course, it's a social enterprise, so you will take some profits, but most of it will be actually given into the tree planting and into the global communities for their work. I think that's a brilliant model that you can start on a shoestring budget anywhere in Africa with huge impact. All right, so dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, the road to success starts with the first step. The road to success is not an easy road. I think everyone who has traveled that road will agree. It will be full of challenges, especially now with the pandemic and also with the economic global downfall. Yes, absolutely, you will be facing challenges, and there will, there will be gaps in regards to achieving what you want to achieve in a certain time. May take longer, but that is the reality, and it's the reality for everyone right now. Important is that you understand that you have to start that journey. Why? Because your jobs are not secure anymore, your economies are not secure anymore, your financial systems are not secure anymore, and basically the life as you have known it now, depending where you are living, may not remain the same. So it is so crucial that you get more control of your path forward. And if you have started a business already, it's important that you continue to travel that road, but don't travel it on the same path. Take a new path where you take on board what you have learned yesterday and today, that actually there's more risk and the world is changing, and it is absolutely paramount that your business model positions itself in that new reality. And for those of you who either just continue in their jobs or how you have been doing things so far, or how you have run your business so far, I believe that is your biggest risk, hands down. So I invite you, to travel that road, and I hope that you've been inspired and motivated to do so. And what I want to do is, again, I tried to cover as much as I can in the short span of the web class today to show you the powerful, profitable trends that not many take advantage of. And this is really the key word. The majority will not take advantage of it. And I know so many are feeling inspired and motivated, and maybe right now you're saying, oh, great, I'm going to do A, B, C. But from my experience, the majority of you won't. That is just putting the truth out there, maybe so it will hit back, or you will remember it a few days, weeks, months from now, when maybe the motivation or the inspiration that you may have found here today in this space, when that maybe, becomes a little bit less because now you're struggling with your everyday life situation. And again, you have three options. Option number one is you do nothing about Africa's huge opportunities and today's insights. And there are challenges, but there are huge new opportunities. When I just think about the green economy, that will be the world economy in the next 10, 15 years. Those of you who are positioning themselves now, today, in that context, will be the ones who will be winning in the markets. If you're looking at all the people who are successful in the world, these are the ones who have positioned themselves early. If you look at Alibaba and Amazon, they started when half of the globe didn't even know yet what internet was. Jack Ma from Alibaba wanted to register his business, and he said he's going to do something on the internet. And the people in the registrar office in China said, what's the internet? Okay, so that is the right time to start and to become really, really successful. It's now. Option number one, you do nothing. Option number two, you take the new insights that you have received today, you run with them, find a business model that works for you and get started. And of course, you're very, very much welcome to start one of the business models that I've shared with you today. That's why I have shared it. And option number three, again, you stay for the remaining time of the web class to learn how you can get your African business started fast and confidently with my direct support. And today, I will show you 3 ways to work with me personally and to work within my products that are, or programs rather, that are featured for African wealth creation. So today I want to introduce you to the personal Africa business and import. Sorry, I want to introduce you to your personal Africa business and jumpstart packages of 2021. And I put this out there like this because I received some emails. Some of you were confused which program is which. So here is a quick overview. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so let me just do it in. Okay, sorry. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, my apologies. I looked at the screen and just press something and it was the wrong button. Okay, so number one is the Africa Business Academy membership. Okay, I have introduced that to you yesterday. I will touch on it again today so that there's clarity. The Africa Business Academy membership, the ABBA membership, is a 1-year membership to my inner circle of clients. Any business of the business models that I have presented today, any of them, if you want to start any of them, the Africa Business Academy is the program to get engaged with. Or maybe you have any other business idea, Or maybe you have started a business in Africa already and you're struggling and you're wondering why you're not selling. And let me tell you, it's usually due to two things: poor positioning and poor marketing. Those two. So take notes. So in the Africa Business Academy, that's what we teach. We teach business. We teach skills that really make all the difference. I have learned it the hard way. And I know the top, the top aspects that will allow you to make progress fast. One is the power of positioning. So that is what we teach in the Africa Business Academy. But in the Africa Business Academy, we also get experts, and I share this with you in a moment. But any country in Africa, any business model, any investment, it's the Africa Business Academy, no matter what industry you would like to get started in. And again, it doesn't matter if you're living on the continent or you're living abroad and you would like to start an African business that you can manage from the United States, for example, or from the United Kingdom or anywhere else. Those are the kind of business models and the success strategies that we share and learn in the Africa Business Academy. Number 2 is my Importing from Africa program. And the Importing from Africa program, I will introduce it in a minute, is all about importing food products and natural skincare products from Africa into the rest of the world. So that includes intra-African trade, by the way. If you want to import from Nigeria to Tanzania, possible with our program. If you want to import from Namibia to New York, possible, okay? Or from Botswana to Dubai. All right, that's the Importing from Africa program. So the difference here is that this is a very particular business model. It is only about the business model of starting and importing from Africa business. Okay, so we are not discussing any other industries, nor are we learning how to do business. It's all about how to start your importing business. It's very concrete. And number 3 is the mega package, my Quantum Leap Africa, where you basically, you get all the above, you get the 2, and everything else I offer. So, you know, my books, we have our upcoming boot camp in March, the Africa Business Bootcamp that I'm holding live. So everything else that I offer goes into the mega package. And I will quickly introduce them to you before we dive into the Q&A. So again, I would like to welcome you to the Africa Business Academy, my inner circle of members. We are almost 300 active members at the moment with active membership. And we meet weekly at the Africa Business Academy. What you're going to get when you're signing up today, you will instantly become a respected member of our Africa Business Academy. This means you will have immediate access to the following. Access to myself. Yesterday, someone has asked, how can I get access to you personally? And the only way is via the Africa Business Academy. Yes, I receive a lot of emails and comments on social media. I cannot give tailored advice to hundreds of people. That is the nature of my business because I'm out there with thousands and thousands of followers. And therefore, the only area where I can really give my time and my expertise, such as you have seen it today, and today was generalized. It was generalized. I didn't tailor it to individually each one of you. That is only going to happen in the Africa Business Academy, okay? So there you will get access to me live in a group setting, and I want to make that very clear, in a group setting. So I'm not going to hop on a phone call with each of you with hundreds of members, in a group setting. But I also offer private coaching in the context of the academy. That's the only way you can get access to myself and my crazy brain, okay? In case you need some insights from my crazy busy brain. Okay, so in the academy, you will also get access to other African experts. We have Pamela, who is an expert in agribusiness, the whole value chain I'm telling you. Pamela has started with 10 farmers in Uganda. Now over 3,000, was it 3,000 or even more? 10,000, I think, 10,000 farmers by now. I know it sounds like a lot, but because they're producing small, it's all about aggregating that from several villages, you know. So she has thousands of farmers working for her now. She started with 10, and these were women farmers who had no husbands, so they were destitute. She has her own beautiful product, you know, she can teach you a lot on the entire value chain, including how to get your products into shelves. So Pamela, she is a coach in our ABBA family in the academy. But Pamela is also a coach in the importing program if you opt for importing. And then we have Akoso, who is our Ghana expert. I shared with you that last week she brought to us the diaspora desk from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. And so we have guest speakers also of high caliber, you know, from government, entrepreneurs. You know, she focuses a lot on Ghana. She's our PR expert in Ghana. Akoso knows the who is who in Ghana, okay? And Akoso is sitting in our academy. So she's also coming on with a guest expert and an opportunity, quite frankly. She has brought to our academy member investment opportunities in tech, in real estate, and so on. And she has great plans also for the rest of the year. So if you are interested, for example, starting a business or investing in Ghana, you know, we can bring the experts to you in the context of the academy. And then we have Chinonso, who has started from scratch. He started his company in his bedroom. 2 years later, he is employing 40 people. And he's growing so fast. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He's running a writing company. His plan is to become the biggest writing company in Africa. And I think he will achieve that because he's a go-getter. And he's an amazing trainer who will teach you some very, very powerful stuff. So it's also great to learn from him, you know, because again, he has started in his own bedroom with nothing. He will tell you his story, how depressed he was because he didn't know what to do and he didn't have money. And guess what? Now he has 2 offices and 2 villas in Nigeria, and he's employing 40 people, and they're growing very, very fast. There is a lot of things you can learn from Chinonso too. So here you go. These are your mentors, and we are bringing in experts as well. I mentioned Mr. Faraja yesterday from Tanzania. He's an investment and business expert, actually, who has written the key book on investing in Tanzania. And his book was, you know, adopted by the Tanzania Investment Promotion Center. Okay, so we are bringing you real experts in, and you have access to those experts. Guess what? You would never get this the access easily. First of all, you would either need to travel to Africa, or you would need to travel to a major conference where you meet these experts. And we are bringing them to you in the comfort of your own home. That is amazing value. That you can put to getting insights with these experts. And the good thing is, on the live calls, you actually get to ask your questions, okay? The ABBA family live sessions are really a get together, and when you have a question, you can ask that question, all right? ABBA family, are you in the room? Please, can I get a shout out from you on Zoom and also on YouTube, that when you are in the live sessions, you get access to amazing experts and you get to ask you questions and you get answered them tailored to your own circumstance because you're asking individually. Thank you, ABBA family, for being here and supporting and listening. I appreciate it. You also get access to monthly winning business training videos. So this is very important to understand, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters. When you want to do business in Africa, you need to understand business skills, And I got most of my business skills from American mentors. I had amazing coaches who were teaching me amazing stuff, but that was business stuff in an American context. It did not apply to doing business in Africa. So what about then doing business in Africa? And that's why I said, unfortunately, there are not many trainers out there who teach that. And the Academy is one of the few ones that teaches both. And you get monthly training videos on, we teach you how to do business as well. And I teach you one of the best insights I'm getting that I got over the years. And because a lot of it is fluff, and a lot of it, let me rephrase, a lot of it is fluff. Not really fluff, but it's not key to your business. Let me rephrase. But a few things are absolutely key. A few aspects will make the biggest progress in your business. And most people are focusing on the wrong things because they don't know better, okay? And of course, you get access to our ABBA community. I've mentioned that yesterday, and our ABBA family, many of you are in the room, which is fantastic. And, you know, we're a great community. I absolutely love meeting with the ABBA family. And I know also among them, the friendships have been formed and business partnerships have been formed. And, you know, it is a beautiful community to operate in. If I had had the choice at that time when I got started, would I have loved to get into a business community that teaches business in Africa? Yes, I did not find any when I started. All right. So the community itself should not be underestimated. You're not alone. And it also is a motivation to participate and to come back to it again and again, because you know, wow, others are making progress, you know, and there's a community to come back to. And if you sign up today, you will also get this amazing bonus, which is access to my virtual Africa Business Bootcamp. But I have even better news for you. If you join, you will also get access to my live virtual Africa Business Bootcamp, which I'm running in March. Okay, so you will get live access to that as well. Today, you can get started for just $97. Okay, you can just give me a sec. Sorry, my kids left the door open and there was too much background noise. So today, you can get started for $97 a month. $97 a month. That is the membership to the Academy. And, you know, I know that some of you may think that's a lot of money, or you are not used to spending that kind of money. But I've just shared it. It would cost you much more to get access to these experts. If you would be traveling to a conference, you know, the flight, the hotel, the entrance to the conference. And then you would not necessarily have the phone number to, you know, to really catch up and follow up with the speakers. But in our case, whenever we bring experts, you get their contact details. You can follow up with them on the opportunities that they have shared. And again, also a coach like myself. I have trained with coaches and trainers from the United States in particular. I've really spent thousands with these coaches. They were training me in doing business. They were not training me in how to do business in Africa. So $97 a month by industry standards, you will hardly find any program that offers you as much value in a group setting as the Africa Business Academy. That's me who will say that. I may sound biased, but then also that's how I have trained my skills. I have trained online. And so I know the industry very, very well. And you will not find anyone who will do it for the entire continent of Africa, any industry. Okay, so this is your rare opportunity. Of course, you can try it on your own, and I always share a lot of information and knowledge in this regard. But guess what? It's not easy to start a business on your own. It is not easy. Crystal, please share the link. please share the link to the academy. For those of you who are ready to join the academy, you know, please join. If you want to go all in with the Quantum Leap program, then wait 5 more minutes. I'll get to that in a minute. But if you say, yes, that's the program for me, then I invite you to join. You will not find better value for money in the training industry and the coaching industry worldwide, and you will not find it in the context of Africa, covering the entire continent, covering all industries. And let me also tell you that most coaches and trainers have not prepared their teachings or their business models in the context of a pandemic or in the context of economic downfall. Of course, those who have been teaching online businesses, you know, nothing has really changed for those coaches, right? So $97. Again, how much is it worth for you to change your path in life, especially with an economy crumbling to the ground? Your job is not safe anymore. It's just a reality. We've heard it yesterday. It's not me who's been saying it. I've just been sharing what leaders are saying. So $97 a month to join the academy. It's a 1-year program because you can't achieve anything in 2 months. Okay. Do you have a money back guarantee? Absolutely. Always with me. And it's simple. You get, you know, I think for ABBA it's a 1 month money guarantee. We'll make it a 1 month money guarantee. The reason being is, frankly, I do not want you to think you've spent something and it was useless. And therefore, it's very simple for me to give money back. Crystal sometimes argues with me, you know, why are you giving that money back? And I am saying, you know what, because I'm a spiritual person. And if the person is not happy, I don't want to argue about that money. I rather let go of that money and give it back happily if they think they deserve it back, or they're telling me they lost their job because of Corona and now they need the $97 back. I give it happily back. I want you to appreciate and learn and grow in ABBA. So don't worry, you can join. If you think it's rubbish, you won't think that. If you're losing your job, that may happen. You'll get your $97 back, okay? So your investment today is $97, and Crystal is sharing the link right now with you on Zoom in the chat box and also with you in YouTube. If you're watching the replay, I will also share the link under the video, okay? And if you are spending $97 now, that's your investment. You get immediate access to the entire ABBA family, all the programs. You can dive in. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, we have the online business missions also now integrated in ABBA. That means we're featuring videos from Rwanda, Ghana, Tanzania, and Kenya with people from government and industry leaders sharing their insights of business in those markets and opportunities, including their contact details. Here you go. I forgot that one because I've incorporated it recently. So you get access to these online business missions featuring people across government and entrepreneurship. Okay, fantastic. So $97 a month. What is this in euro? I don't know, 90 euros, something like this, 85 euro. The dollar is going down. So if you are in Europe or in the UK or something, I think I should start like making you pay in Bitcoin or something, or in Ghanaian cedis or something. The dollar is going down. So that means like my business is making less money. I need to think about that. Okay, so next, online training. Online training, everyone. As I have said, this is the Importing from Africa program. This is program number 2, the Importing from Africa program, where we only teach you how to import food products and natural skincare products, be it branded or in bulk. That means you can either have a branded product, it's already done and branded, and you put it somewhere in the shelves in the West or anywhere else in Africa, or you want to start your own brand. You know, you want to call it, I don't know, Khadija's Coffee or Ate's Moringa. Ate is sitting in the room. He has produced his own brand, but it's called not Ate's Moringa, it's called Sour. And he's produced it in Norway, okay? A beautiful, beautiful brand. And you can do that as well. That means you're importing only the ingredients from Africa, and you're putting your own product and brand. So access number one, you will get access to the world's first online training on how to import from Africa. All right, we have 12 modules, such as building the foundation of your African import business, why importing from Africa, finding the right African product, choose your import business model. So there's the business model of agent, of distributor, or of starting your own brand. How to find a reliable African supplier you can trust, understanding your profit margins, getting your product samples, selling to the right clients, and these are usually other businesses. How to find your buyers. Do I ship by air or sea? Shipping, duty, and taxes. And now get started. So this is the online training. It's the first of its kind on how to import from Africa. And I've been putting this together after I noticed there was a lot of interest in this, creating a business model where you don't necessarily order stuff from China and then you drop ship it, but where you actually make an impact on Africa. And you will hugely, because these food products and these skincare products are all produced by African farmers. And the more we can find markets for them, the more do we help them produce and eliminate poverty among themselves in their communities. So it has huge meaning and impact. Access number two, you get access to the first pool of African suppliers from the comfort of your home. So basically, I've made it my business to put together a marketplace for African products, such as the ones you're seeing, coffee, there's skincare products, shea butter from Ghana, and you can see here a picture to the right of African suppliers. So we are really actually partnering with leading suppliers in Africa. Some are smaller, some are quite large, and at the moment, we have 45 suppliers on our platform featuring over 100 products from Africa. But guess what? We are going to grow this fast now. This is why I've been busy opening my office in Rwanda, because my office in Rwanda will only focus on this platform. So we'll get more suppliers, number one, more products, number two, and above all, we want to make it more efficient, easier and cheaper to import. We're working on that in very, very concrete terms as well. And importers, shout out to you if you're in the room, dear importers. I know many of you are. I'm happy to let you know that I will be rolling out our new importing member space in a couple of days. It's actually already completed, but our coaches are reviewing it if they want to add or change something. We are rolling out a renewed version with some new support systems. So this is access number 3 for those of you who want to join our importers. We have a few hundreds of them. Over 800, I think. But of course, I don't know, everyone is not active. As I said, the masses will never follow up, okay? It's the few who actually see it all through until the end. Access number 3, support system to start importing. Our support system in the Importing from Africa program is made up of monthly live coaching, one coming up now very soon, actually next week. So, if you're joining now, you will get the first live coaching on how to import. Also, we have added, checklist, email templates. And dear importers, you have spoken when I did my survey. I did my survey and you said our major challenge was we need more support in terms of step 1, 2, 3, 4. What's to be done? What documents do we need? How do they look like, these documents? And also, can we get cheaper shipping rates. So I'm happy to let you know that we have incorporated in the new platform all the templates of invoices, shipping documents. We have included examples so you can look at them, how they look like, and we have included templates. So you just need to print them and fill them out. Okay, we've done all of that following the survey. So to increase the value, we are very much still in talks with DHL. And I want to let all of you know, we had another meeting this week. DHL and our company, we are working on a corporate partnership with DHL in South Africa, which is in charge of the African continent. And we are working on a corporate partnership right now. Why? Because through a corporate partnership, you can get a fraction of the shipping cost for samples and shipments via air under 200 kg. Okay, and our business model was quite unique to them because we didn't want to just a partnership in one country. I was invited by DHL in Rwanda and they said, yes, we're happy. And they sent me the contract even. And I said, I'm so sorry, we don't just need DHL Rwanda. We need DHL in each and every country in Africa. And so that's why we have held several meetings with DHL in South Africa. We're still working on the tech side of it. How will it actually work across several countries in Africa? But good news, and let me share them here right now, dear importers, and those of you who want to join us today, I want to let you know that DHL have already agreed to train our importers. Isn't that fantastic? They have experts in DHL South Africa on customs, on the new changes with coronavirus, on Brexit, on you name it. They have the experts in DHL South Africa, and they have agreed to train our importers. So I hope, you are excited by that news. For those of you joining, you are getting all of that value that we have been putting together over the recent weeks. And hopefully, if you watch this replay in a few weeks, we can be celebrating the corporate contract and cheaper shipping rates for all our importers. Okay, so our team is behind this. The entire team has been working behind this, not just myself. And we have also been reaching out to our suppliers in Africa to make sure we get better response times from them. Absolutely brilliant to connect to them and to hear from their end what's happening. We'll communicate that with all of you because there's a lot to learn from. So these are exciting times. We are here really at pioneering something. We're pioneering something together. You can be part of this story, but not only that, it is pandemic proof and it is economic downfall proof. You can run this business, especially as an agent, an import-export agent, import agent from anywhere in the world. Once you have a portfolio of buyers, they will buy from you, no matter where you are. They will reorder and reorder, okay? Is it easy to set a business up? Nothing is easy in life. If it was very easy to set it up, everyone would be doing business right now. But it is simple. This is a very, very simple business concept, straightforward, and with huge growth potential, All right, so today you can get started for $497, okay? The entire online program of how to import from Africa is available for $497 lifetime access. Crystal, please share the link in the Zoom room now and in the YouTube channel a minute later. The link to our Importing from Africa program and what I have introduced last year for the first time because of the pandemic and because I know how many of you are struggling financially. I have included for the first time last year a $87 per month payment for the importing program. You will pay this for 6 consecutive months, so 6 monthly payments. And once you have concluded the 6 monthly payments of $87, that's it. You will get lifetime access. And what you can also see, it doesn't matter if you pay 497 or 87. There's not really much difference. I wanted to make it easier for you to make sure you can afford it if you're struggling financially right now. Okay, so get started for $497 lifetime access to the first ever importing from Africa program. It is a pandemic proof program, and it is a economic downfall proof, program, which means everyone will continue to eat food or to need natural skincare products, okay? And therefore, it's a business model for the future. Okay, and those of you who are saying, oh my gosh, which one shall I take? I need both. I want to do the importing, I want to look into that, but I also want the great business advice of Dr. Harnett, and on her experts. And I want to also look into investing. And by the way, I forgot to mention here, let me go back to it again, sorry, the life coaching. We have life coaching monthly by Pamela. Her products are featuring in over 300 shops across Europe and the United States. Her Asante Mama brand from Uganda, spices, cocoa, things like that, teas, herbal teas, beautiful brand featuring in over 300 stores. She's your personal coach in the importing program. So if you maybe ask, oh, Dr. Hunt, are we going to see you? Well, I'm not an importer, so I have brought the experts to you. And then we have Ate Atabong, and Ate has actually started as an importer, listening to my talk and being very patient to listen, because I know I talk a lot sometimes because I get so passionate. So Ate was listening patiently like you guys one day in one of those Zoom meetings, and he signed up to the importing course. And guess what? He started his importing business, and he has his own beautiful brand called Sawa. And he is focusing mainly on superfoods. And yeah, he's featuring, I don't know, Ate, last time I checked with you, it was, I think, 22 stores in Norway and Sweden. Ate, if you're in the room, let us know. I've seen you yesterday. So yeah, he is now your coach, dear importers. So Ate has been sitting in the Zoom room like you, started with the program, the training program, and he has made it his products, beautiful products, featuring in over 22 stores now in Northern Europe. And he has become our coach, our expert, but he's also our logistics expert now, because he has over decades in logistic and supply chain in the pharmaceutical industry. So he also knows quite a lot about customs and imports and regulations. Okay, so sorry, I just wanted to add that. You will have amazing coaches giving you great insights. Okay, so Quantum Leap, again, if you couldn't decide which one, I kind of need both, I want both, whatever it is, here we go. You can get access to both of it. The Africa Business Academy, 1-year membership at $97 per month, which will result in $1,164, plus our Importing from Africa program with lifetime access. Value cost is $497 for lifetime access. So the total would be $160.61, and you can get the entire package, both of it, lifetime access and 1-year membership for $997. That's $997. And look, it's basically a full year membership, less than a full year for the Academy. And then I'm throwing in the Importing from Africa program. And you get the free access to our live training in March, because that live training will be paid for. It will not be free live training for the first time for the public, but you will get free access to it, okay? So where do you access the Quantum Leap? Well, we made it very simple today. Usually we have an entire new platform and link for that because I throw in my Africa trips and everything. But this year it is straightforward. All you need to do is go on the link for the academy that Crystal shared earlier. You scroll down all to the bottom. You choose the 1-year option, $997. And once you've signed up, we'll give you free access to the importing program. Okay, so that's it. Crystal, please share the links again in Zoom and also on YouTube. For those of you who are confused, you can chat to Crystal in the chat box, ask questions, and Crystal will clarify it to you. Okay, so again, you have the option to sign up today either to the Africa Business Academy. You pay $97 today, full money back guarantee. The membership will run for 1 year, and then you can decide if you want to continue. Most of our other members are staying. No, I wouldn't say most of them, but a lot of them. The ones that are most visible, to be honest, the ones that are showing up, engaging, their video. I know their names. I know what they're building on, which is fantastic because I can really have them in my mind and I know what they're building. John was in the room yesterday. You know, I know he's building Bitcoin and cryptocurrency platform. He's been an ABBA member for a while now, and he's been sitting in the Zoom room like you. And guess what? Now I said, John, I need you. Please teach the rest of our members, and then maybe they may work with him, you know. So as you can see, we're really a community where we're also tapping into each other's resources. And that is exactly what you need in times of struggle. You need to be flexible. You need to be resourceful. You need a network to make sure you can go through these times, okay? Or you can sign up to our Importing from Africa program, lifetime access for $497. Again, you can also sign up for the option $89 per month for 6 months, or you want to get all of it, the Quantum Leap for $997. Now listen to this. I'm going to close the Quantum Leap option on Tuesday, okay? If you want both, I'm going to close. And this is your last chance, and it will not be reopened, this opportunity, any other time in the year. This is my new year opportunity. I did the same last year, and I will not reopen the Quantum Leap program any other time this year. This is really your last chance for this program and to get everything, the whole package. Okay, so yes, so stop the share. If you have any questions, please use the chat box. Crystal is there to clarify. Just maybe put @Crystal, or Crystal, put her name so she can see it is for her, and she will assist you if you have questions about the program. You can also ask me in a minute about the program, because I will be giving you know, I will do a quick Q&A. Okay, so we'll do Q&A now. Before we dive in, I want to quickly say a few words. Actually, let me ask you. First of all, who is in? Let me ask who is in. Who is in this year? Who is in? Let's see who is in. And then give me a yes if you're in. Give me a yes if you're in. Okay, Financial Unity, I'm in. Yes. Ishak says, yes, I'm in. K Flowers, yes. Easter, totally in. Martin, yes. Juliet, yes. Colleen, yes. Shana, Montella, Marta, yes, I'm in. Eleanor, yes. Fanan, yes. Josa, Mari, yes. Madia, I've been in for a long time with the fantastic Vic, yes. Valas, I can't even read it out so quick. Brilliant. And I know I'm selling here. I'm selling unapologetically because this is how I reached here. Financially independent by investing in myself. And therefore, you know, I do it knowing that this is what it takes to actually go beyond you and the world that you have known. Okay, so fantastic to see so many yeses. We look forward to welcoming you in the academy and the importing program alike. Now, I want to go to the next group. Who is not sure? Please put me. If you're not sure, you have like an inner struggle going on. Let me see. Who is not sure? Let me see me if you're not sure. Okay, people don't want to confess to that. Or maybe volume is low. It's probably the, okay, Lafayette says not sure for the present time. Can we do monthly payments? Not sure. Yes, you can do monthly payments, just not for the Quantum Leap. I'm already in the program. I'm already an ABBA member. I have a lot of stuff going on. Not sure. Okay. That's it. What is if I have already signed up and can I still get the Quantum Leap? Yes, if you have already signed up, please, absolutely. We can make this happen for you. Just email us at info@africajumpstart and we will accommodate you. No problem. We are very flexible. Okay, audio is now okay. Fantastic. Okay, no, unfortunately, the Quantum Leap program cannot be paid monthly. I know that sounds a little bit brutal, but the thing is, okay, here's what I will do. 2 months payments I will offer for the Quantum Leap. 2 months programs payment, and let us set this up. Crystal, let us set the 2 months payment up. Email us if you want a 2 months payment. This is now a very spontaneous decision I've made. The reason why I'm not offering and I'm going to tell you straight, I'm very transparent. You see, when you offer monthly payments, people will drop out of monthly payments. That's just the reality of online businesses. They will drop out, or they have difficulty paying, whatever the reason is, or the bank cannot be reached, or whatever the reason is. And therefore, there's a lot more risk for me in a monthly payment. When you pay at once, I know you've paid, and that's why I can make a brilliant offer like that for $997 for 2 programs. You will not find anything like that in the market. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but two payments. Okay, I agreed to that because of Corona and economic downfall. So you have to email us because we have not set it up. Crystal, please take a note. Quantum Leap will be available at 2 payments. $497, $497, 2 payments. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So don't email Crystal here. You need to email her, don't message her here if you want the program, because we're going to close it and the chat will be lost. You need to actually email us to info@africajumpstart.com. Crystal has shared the email, and then we will arrange it for you. Okay. And give us a day, because it's Sunday evening. Okay, so great. Here is so for those of you who are sitting on the spot, who are sitting on the fence, not on the spot, who are sitting on the spot, I want to say something briefly. Or for those of you who were not able to say yes. Here's the thing. If it's a clear no for you for whatever reason, that's good. Clear decision making is good. You just say, I don't have the money, I don't need this, I don't think this is for me. Fine. No is no. No problem. Absolutely no problem. For those of you who are having an inner conflict going on, I really want to, but let me say a few words. I have started my entire business when I still had a poverty mindset. Okay. So I don't want to tell you my whole life story now. That's another session. But basically, I've started with a poverty mindset. How many of you do think they may have a poverty mindset? I was like a leading candidate for that poverty mindset, like here. Okay. So and now I wanted to start a business, make money, become financially independent, and basically stop the entire agony that comes with having a poverty mindset, where you constantly worry about money, struggle with money, and money is a huge issue in your life in a negative way. Or you're starting things and not getting them done. Now, I had to change the way I think. I had to change my poverty mindset, because my poverty mindset was getting me here in the first place. If I had the mindset that was required to become financially independent, number one, and as a result, if I had taken the decisions in life that would get me financially independent, I would have been financially independent at that time. But I was not. Why? Because of the ways I was thinking, the ways I was feeling, fear, for example, and the ways I was making decisions. Based on those emotions, I'm making certain decisions. So, for example, the decision, am I in? Shall I buy it or shall I not buy it? Absolutely. Was I used to buying self-investment programs? Absolutely not. Now, here's the thing. The decisions I made got me to a certain point in life where I said, I'm broke, I'm hardworking, I've always been hardworking, but I'm broke, I'm struggling, I'm not happy, I'm stressed out, I'm worried. Well, it was me who got me there. So what I had to learn is to first really learn what it takes to get used to other habits, which are success habits. I had to replace my poverty habits and decision-making with my success habits and decision-making. And that was very uncomfortable in the beginning. But hands down, I can tell you, if you're struggling, and I know sometimes we are broke, I know how it is. I had times where I couldn't afford to, to go to a restaurant and have a lunch or a dinner. Worse than that, okay? I don't want to talk about that. I know what it means to have nothing. I've been there. Now, here's the thing, however. You can continue in that cycle of having nothing and trying to catch something, and then a year later, 5 years later, you still have nothing, you're still stressed. Now we're having a pandemic on top of it, we're having an economic downfall on top of it. Guess what? You're among the most vulnerable group. And this is your time to take decisions. So when I learned from the successful people, I studied them. What are they doing differently? How do they think? What attitudes do they have? What habits? How do they make decisions? I studied that. And then against my own feeling of discomfort, my fear, my worries, I would take a new set of action and decisions. The first course I invested in, let me just share this. The first course I invested in online at the very beginning of my journey was How to Sell by Lisa Sasevich. She's an American sales queen. The course cost me $997. Not by coincidence. We're learning why your course should cost $997 and not $999 or $1,000. Okay, all of that is a sales strategy. So her course also cost me $997 US. What was her course? Her course was recorded videos by herself on how to sell. That's it. I got the course. I felt very much uncomfortable because I didn't have much money. I was buying it on my credit card at the time, I have to confess. And I took the course. Guess what? I learned from her and I applied it in my new business. And particular, a certain strategy she's teaching, I've been applying it in my boot camps, selling from stage. I've made the money back that I invested, the $997, multiple times because I was learning from her. So I just got videos, recorded videos. I didn't get to speak to her or see her live at all, not a single time. I didn't get a community. I didn't get, support documents. I didn't get the possibility to reach out to a coach and ask questions, to live sessions. None of that. just a recorded course. Was it worth the investment? It was my first, absolutely. I'm still using some of the skills I learned from her. Okay, so that is the aspect really, and I always say it, you know, of course I make money now in my business, and I make good money in my business, and I'm blessed, but over the last 2 years, not in 2020, so 2018 and 2019, I invested over $60,000, $60,000 in coaches and consultants to invest in myself. That's what got me here. You're struggling maybe with the $97 per month, or maybe with the $997 for 1 year and lifetime access to 2 programs. I have invested 60,000, and that is what got me here. Yeah, because I learned from others who have walked the path, and that's what it takes. But now, you know, if I want to maintain, I don't need another coach. I know what I'm doing. But guess what? If I now want to go to the next stage, I don't know, maybe I want to be earning $10 million. Now I need to learn how to get me there. I can't do it myself because I've never done $10 million. So what do I have to do? I have to learn from people who can walk the path, okay? And again, African business and investment, you will not get this anywhere. And before we dive into Q&A, my last sentence here is, yes, I know some of you are feeling the discomfort, or you're not used to it, or you're short in money. I hear you because I've been there. But I think what's also important to understand is, where do we spend our money to? And if we want to grow financially, we need to invest in ourselves. It's not going to come from nowhere. Time and money will just accelerate it. That's it. Can you learn it from YouTube for free? Yes, I've done it for the last 2-3 years in my business. The first 2-3 years in my business. I can tell you, I could have accelerated the success of my business and the pain and the confusion if I had someone who had been actually leading me. So yes, I had free resources also here and there, you know, in the beginning, but that delayed me considerably because I tried to I was all over the place. And on top of it, you won't get it in an African context. That was another thing. Okay, so I think very often, and I will say it again, certain things we are happy to invest in. So if you want to get a driving license, or your son or daughter wants to get one, or you're very happy to invest $1,000, $1,500 for some reason, you know, you believe the car is important, or the driving license, you're happy to invest and pay a tutor, a teacher, how to learn driving. If your son or daughter struggles with math, you will get a math tutor, right? And pay him. But then if it's about investing in ourselves, learning about business, well, suddenly you think you can figure it out all by yourself. You're not prepared to invest in that. That is something we have to question. And when you follow successful people, even the ones that are making already $1 million, guess what? They all invest in coaches and self-education again and again and again. I've copied them. That's why I reached here. And if I spend $1,000 or more in my driving license, I'm the driver of my life. I should be investing at least that amount of money in myself to make sure I can drive through life. And let me learn from people who have done it and who have struggled before, but they found the path. Okay, and so it's very important, self-investment. You will not find any successful person on this globe, except maybe for some Africans who started with $20 30 years ago. You know, we have some amazing business leaders. They started 20-30 years with $20. They're multimillionaires now. Unfortunately, they're not teaching us. I wish they were. I would be one of their students. But anyone else successful out there, they will have coach investing in their self-education. That's what it takes. You can copy them, or you can copy the masses. The masses, I told you, are not going to sign up. That's just human nature. The majority will not sign up. And they will have rational conclusions or rational explanations why not. And sometimes it's really clearly not for me. That's fine, absolutely fine. I'm not trying to brainwash you. Absolutely fine. This is not for you, done. But if you feel you want it, but you're struggling, the masses will go with the no. That's the safe option. That's the option they know. But what did I tell you about the masses early on? The masses are not financially independent. The masses are not at inner peace. They're not working on their self-growth. They're not happy. The masses are stressed, worried, and have money problems. Okay, and they're not in control of their own lives, the masses. And we've just heard how that can work out if you're not in control of your life and your finances. And they're not. Someone else is controlling them. So therefore, don't hide among the masses. That's it. Stand out, take a step that go with the few. That is your first step to accelerate your probability and your potential for success. That's it. You copy the successful people. You do not copy the masses. All right. So Crystal, once more, shared the 2 links to the Academy, to the ABBA family, at $97 a month, to the Importing from Africa program at $89 a month, or to the whole package, including free access to our bootcamp in March for $497 and for $997, the entire package, and live access to a whole host of coaches and experts from Africa, not just myself, others too. And hands down, you won't get this anywhere in the market. I've been in the coaching market myself for 7 years now, and I'm buying coaching packages myself to learn. And hands down, for $997, you will not get lifetime access or year access to experts, to African business investment opportunities, to business advice, to Africa advice. You will not. And live sessions weekly. You will not. You will not get it in the coaching world. And the reason, and many people are telling me, hands down, they're telling me your programs are too cheap. Even my business missions to Rwanda and Ghana, they're too cheap. Why are you selling them so cheap? You should make it more, our people need to get used to it, to pay and to invest. And I say, guess what? I don't want to be the one who puts a high hurdle up there. Let it be an easy entry, because I know our communities across the world. We are not financially savvy. We are not used to invest money in ourselves. We invested in the car and the iPad and the shoes and the bag or so on, but not in ourselves. And so I said, let there be a low entry barrier so that there can be many of us, okay? So this is it. This is your chance, and the last chance for the Quantum Leap program will close in 2 days. And now let's go over to Q&A. And again, those of you visible in business will proceed. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Martin, I can see your hand, but we have a live session soon. But maybe you want to. Martin is part of the ABBA family. Okay. But he's persistent. So Martin, hold on. Okay, let me help you to. Maybe Martin wants to say something. Okay, allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, Martin, make it short.
Okay, just short. Yes, thanks, Dr. Harnett, for the training. Really enjoyed it. Just first of all, wanted to find out how ABBA members like myself can go onto the Quantum family, the Quantum package. And I've asked the question in the site. And then obviously just saying to everyone else that, again, I'm starting my entrepreneurial journey, and ABBA family has really helped me to make that transition. And a lot of this information, you will not get it even when you travel to Africa. I've tried that as well. It's, you won't get a place where you'll get all the information that you get in one place. And also just having your peers around you motivates you to delve in and take that plunge. So really consider it. And then the next question I wanted to ask just quickly was about, obviously we know that in the West there's going to be a downturn, but a lot of African countries are very focused on, delivering to the West. And you've shown that what we need to do to insulate ourselves, but wouldn't that same chaos that you've talked about affect African countries as well? And those are my questions.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Martin. Question number one, yes, for all of you in ABBA already, simply purchase the Quantum Leap today for $997. And what we will do, we will discontinue the monthly ABBA membership. And that's it. So we'll still have a year from now set, paid for, plus the importing program. Okay, so Crystal, make sure we're looking out for the names. Most of you we will recognize, we know each other very well in the ABBA family, but Crystal, for those of you signing up on the Quantum Leap program, please make sure you double check their names if they're already ABBA members, so that we can get them on the Quantum Leap program and discontinue their monthly payments. And if you have paid already for, well, January is over, so it's fine. January is over, so it's fine. And then you will start with February and you will not pay in February. Okay, great. Martin, first, second of all, I appreciate your support. You've been, a very engaged and visible member. I love that. I always say to the Academy members, be visible. When I know your faces, your stories, and what you're working towards in terms of business and investment, it will make it so much easier for me to have you at the back of my head and, and see when something comes up. So thank you for that, Martin. In regards to the effect on African countries, yes, absolutely. They will be impacted upon. They were impacted upon during the Great Recession. I tried to make that comparison yesterday in the first part. But they have been, there were certain countries which were high risk in terms of impact. And they really felt it very heavily. You can, again, revisit some of the comparisons we have made among countries in the first part of the video. But really, in comparison to what happened in the West, Africa was able to kind of, go through it with much less pain, most countries anyway in Africa. And one of the main reasons is because the banking system and the financial system in Africa was not prone to the whole scramble that was happening in the West. So they were kind of protected from that, which is interesting, including some of the international branches. They were actually safe in Africa. So there's a kind of a disconnect in terms of how they operate. And so because that financial system and the banking system continued to operate, that was a major part also for people to continue to do business and so on. Okay, yes, please. Who is next? Be visible. Okay, Hermon, Luca, Lafayette. Yes, okay, very visible Lafayette. Davis, okay. And then who else? Tupika, yes, all right. And Wallace, okay. If I called your name, please just grab the microphone.
Hello?
Go ahead, any of you who I called. Yes, please.
Yeah, hello, you can hear me?
Yes, Luca.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you had another question from yesterday. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first question I want to ask now is, I'm a member. I just paid this month for the importing from Africa, and I'm ready to join the African Business Academy. But what will I do now? How do I?
The other way around. Okay.
Yes.
The other way around works the same way. So the other way around, what we then have to do is, but this is, hold on, this is only if you signed up to it now, this month or the last. Not last year and so on.
No.
Because offers always, yeah.
I just signed up. I just signed up this month for the important. They've only taken. I was in the package of paying every month. They've only taken one payment for my credit card.
Yes, lucky. Yeah. Then for those of you importers who have signed up in January, or we will even include December, you can also pay for the whole thing 997, and then we will refund you the money.
Okay.
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 All right. Okay.
So
why did I say? You know why I said Lucky? Because I'm in my German. You know, I speak
German.
Yeah.
I know. I speak German a little bit. I speak a little bit German too. That's what it's.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Lucky. Another question?
Yes. Like as I was saying yesterday, that I was trying to come to Rwanda, but we have a travel restriction now from the Prime Minister here in Canada the day before yesterday, so I cannot travel now because I don't have the money to. I don't want to pay that such money when I come back to Canada. So I'm ready to come when everything is over. But like what I've heard today, is it possible when I come over there, after I sign up, to meet up with any of your representative in Rwanda, like in your office and all that, to talk more?
Okay. Yeah. So right now the office is closed because we're in a lockdown in Kigali, like total lockdown. Yeah. You need police clearance to leave your house. But on the other hand, they're very, you know, you use your mobile phone, and there's an app, and then they ask you what you want to do. I want to go shopping, food shopping, or visit the doctor, and then you wait for police clearance. So it's a proper lockdown here. But once everything is open, what we have been doing as part of the academy. So for those we have been meeting in Rwanda. We had 2 meetings so far with everyone who's here in Rwanda from the Abba family. So usually there were like 5, 6, 7 people who were in Rwanda, you know, traveling, passing by. Some of them live here already. So yes, we will do this occasionally, absolutely. As to my office, yes, the office, at the moment, we're still pretty much setting it up. So the plan is the office is for the importing people, importing from Africa or trade, and also for investment opportunities. But we are still putting this together and giving investment services. Yeah, so more to come, Lucky. And if you're in the Abba family, you will hear everything firsthand.
Yeah. So okay. I'll reserve my other questions since I'm going to sign up, so I know I will get all the information.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. We will be meeting regularly. Absolutely.
Okay. Save the time. Thank you, Lucky. Use it for other people.
Yes, Lucky. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All the others I've mentioned, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Herman and all the others I have mentioned.
Go ahead. Hello.
Okay. Okay, Herman. Hello. And then Topeka. Yeah. Herman.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Topeka.
Okay. Hello.
Herman and then Topeka. Yes, Herman, go ahead.
Okay, so hi, Dr. Harnett and everyone there. Actually, I'm from Finland and a member of the Importing from the Africa group. And I was interested on cassava flour, and I was doing some research on the, healthy points of the cassava flour, and so I was just interested because I found out that the shelf life of cassava is short, and that is because of the risk of cyanide poisoning. So I just wanted to ask you if you have any experiences, or if you had any from your members who deal with cassava flour, or if you personally, because I think one day I heard you talking that you were gluten intolerant. So if you personally used it and
yes, Herman. So yeah, I'm using it. So here the shelf life is about a year, I think, on the cassava products. So it is, you know, it is considerable long as compared to some other products. But then there may be regulations from country to country. I think Ate is in the room, but we will have a live session, I think next week with Ate. So he knows about the regulations in Europe, shelf life and so on. So Herman, I would say jump on the live call with the importers, and Ate will be leading it, and you can ask him because that's his expertise. Would that work, Herman?
Yeah, sure, that's good.
Go ahead, because I think there are different regulations also in different countries. You know, you're in Finland, and then also we will get the trainers from DHL for the first time, and you may ask them similar questions also. There are a lot of restrictions in regards to or changing policies, and DHL is always up to date, which is great.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Herman. Yes, okay, Topeka, please. Yes, go ahead.
Hello,
Unmute.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I'm here from Netherlands and I'm original from Tanzania. So I have one question about tourism. I'm working here in Europe almost 19 years in tourism section. So my question is, I saw in YouTube one session you was talking about Serengeti. I'm interested to go maybe in future to open or to talk with the government of Tanzania. Maybe I can put some tent in Serengeti as a business. But I was thinking maybe, what do you think? Because here now, I think you have already listened about container tin houses. You know, container tin houses is so
Yes,
good. So I was thinking maybe it's good idea, even maybe we can bring some container tin houses in Serengeti. What do you think? I don't know. I'm just thinking.
All right.
Maybe
Okay,
it's a good idea.
Thank you. Yes. So first of all, the tourism industry generally, and you may have felt it, you will have felt it if you were in this industry for many years, is of course heavily impacted upon. So I will be very, very careful at the moment to promote tourism and also those ABBA members who are working on tourism. I actually need to really make a risk assessment with them. Now, Tanzania works in a context that they're not locking down, so the borders will remain open. And you will always find people who will travel if they can. So I know of, people who have been here in Rwanda, and since the lockdown started here in Rwanda, well, they've gone to Tanzania now because they didn't want to sit in the lockdown here. So they've gone there and, whatever they have to do there. So there will be these pockets, I think, and people will look for countries where they can travel to breathe and to experience something. So in that case, Tanzania, I think, is a good market. It has also recovered from at least from my information, didn't have as much as a long-term impact as Kenya has, for example, experienced when the tourism industry went down in 2008, 2009, and then there was a terrorist attack on top of that and everything. So yes, you can absolutely do that. What you have to do is you can go to the Tanzania Investment Center, the TIC. You would start in Dar es Salaam. You can just walk into the TIC. Then they can refer you to the tourism industry. It's called the Ministry of Tourism and Natural Resources. It's called the Ministry of Tourism and Natural Resources. Inside there, they have a department which is in charge of the parks that you were mentioning. And in fact, in the academy, if you are joining ABBA, Topeka or anyone else who is interested in the academy, we actually have in our online business mission to Tanzania, we actually have the lady in charge of the parks. She's actually on video in the Africa Business Academy with her contact details and everything. So she gives insights about how to invest in the parks. And yeah, that can be done. In regards to container, the tiny house movement is something that is really happening across the world, especially in the Western world. The huge movement, the tiny house movement, I've been following it quite a bit. It's all about, yeah, you too, yeah. It's all about simplifying your life, and really we have so much stuff around us, and it's about simplifying your life. So I decided not to move into a tiny house here in Rwanda because I've lived in a tiny container my whole life. So I'm like, I want guests. Let me have 4 rooms or 5,
No,
so
just
I
for
apologize
tourists.
for that. I was
just for tourists in Serengeti.
I know. I understand. No, that was just don't worry. Absolutely. So container houses is a trend, number one. But you need to see to whom are you selling this trend, because it's quite something. So if you had young adventurers from America coming in, they would absolutely love to stay in your tiny container. If you are featuring to you know, a business family in Dar es Salaam or Nairobi, they would probably feel ashamed to tell others that they're moving into the tiny house container, you know? So it's also very important, first, whom are you selling to? And second, also, Dr. Mikhail, this will be our next session, I think. Also, second, to see how can you do it in a way that it would be attractive. So that's it, Tupike. Yeah. These are the kind of things we're discussing in more detail in the ABBA. But yes, will work. But it's all about how do you position yourself. Okay. The power of positioning is one of my favorite topics in the academy.
Even right. In Zanzibar, it's good
please.
Idea.
Thank you, Tupike. Good luck. Oh, Zanzibar. Oh, yes, beautiful. Yes.
Okay, hi.
But again, about how you position yourself. Go ahead, please. Yes.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes, please, Lafayette, loud and clear.
Okay, my name is Lafayette Davis, and I've been following the African, Business Academy for a couple of, maybe half a year or a little. And we already have a business in Africa, but I have like a two-part question. One, can we sign up as a team? I have another partner. I am so spent. I work like 4 different time zones. And if I signed up for it, I feel that I probably won't take advantage of it because I have, we have 10, put this way, we're in the process of opening offices.
Lafayette, because we have hundreds queuing, my answer is yes.
Okay, that's the first one. So second question. I love you guys. Okay.
You're flexible, go ahead.
Okay, yes. So if we decide, okay, so if we decide, okay, we're probably going to sign up. That's probably going to happen. I just want to make sure, we're able to take advantage of the information. So how is the monthly payments done? Do they just automatically put it on credit card and you just take it? Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, it's the system that takes it. Yes.
Okay, fine, super. So final question is, we are CPAs, accountants, and IT people, and we also phone company. Which is the best country to do business in that, just in those particulars?
ICT, and what was the
we are a phone company. We are IT. We do internet, telephone. We do VIP. We do it almost anywhere in the world. And we also does web hosting, and we are Google partners and Microsoft partners. But we also a CPA firm. So we are a CPA firm who happens to have who are IT firm. We are CPAs who are IT specialists, which means we can build apps, manage your store. We can do all sorts of stuff because we're CPAs who are IT people. So we're
great.
We're developing.
Okay, here's my answer. Yeah, Lafayette, and I'm so sorry. Sometimes I will interrupt you. I don't mean to be rude. But I want to quickly get to the point so we can have more questions. Yes. So Lafayette, here's my answer. It's twofold. So one is in terms of where do we have the most developed ICT industry. It would be Kenya. And then, of course, South Africa, absolutely. South Africa and Kenya would be the most developed in regard to ICT, fast internet, and a high awareness among the population in regards to using these tools. Then in the West, it would be Ghana and Nigeria. Now, you have these where it would be easy in terms of getting it all done because you have the entire infrastructure in the country, everything that you need, and you have a highly educated kind of community there that will use those tools or those solutions. But then you will also have more competition in all these countries that I have just mentioned. So that is one way to do it. Okay, and in the academy, again, we're featuring IHAP, which is the leading tech hub in Kenya. She's also talking about some of these aspects, the leader of IHAP. So these are great countries to get started, but be also aware that you have more competition there, I would say.
They can't beat our prices. I could offer Google Suite for $1. They can't beat our prices.
Oh, they can't even be, okay, good. Then go into competitive prices.
Our prices are better than in-country prices.
Okay, Lafayette, then I would really say, because there's other markets which are not as competitive, which are also very interesting markets in this regard.
We have an office in Uganda right now, and we just picked up interns. We had 10 interns in the last 90 days in Nigeria.
Okay. So yeah, then start with one of these markets. I mean, these are some of the top economies in Africa, and if you can beat them on price, why not? I would choose one of those markets and, you know, start with one, that's important, and then move to the next, and get going there. That's what I would say. I would actually, I think Kenya would be great, because then you have the East African community, which is also already a trade zone in Africa.
We already have we have a couple of
fantastic.
CPAs there, and we have a couple of CPAs in
right. So I'm just confirming what you.
Okay, so you basically give me information back. It's just hard to get good information, reliable information.
Good. Yeah, I give you another tip, and that is if you need local employees. Employ, this is to all of you, my free tip here for you is to employ from the African Leadership University. Frank, Ange, are you in the room? My team. I have employed people from the African Leadership University. The African Leadership University is one of the new top universities founded by Fred Swanica, who said, why are our youth leaving the continent for Stanford and Harvard and Oxford? Why can we not, you know, really educate them on the continent? So he then built the first African Leadership University in Mauritius and the second one in Rwanda. And, you know, I've hired people from there and have heard from others, brilliant young minds. This is a good tip. And they come from all over Africa.
Is there email? Is there email? Or
no, but just to Google Africa. Yeah, by email. They have an employment department, and that's a good tip. And by the way, he also, Fred Swanica, his vision was to create Africa's next 50,000 new leaders for the new generation. He said Africa's problems, as we all know, are not based on the lack of natural resources or any kind of resource or human resource. Our problems are based on bad leadership, bad governance and bad leadership. I 110% agree, especially coming from Eritrea. So therefore, you know, you're investing in people, in young people that are actually trained to become our next generation of leaders in business, politics, and community. And I train, you know, I'm passionate about training my team. I want to train them very well. And I will be employing more from the Africa Leadership University. Frank, Ange, you're our leaders of tomorrow. So go ahead. Yes, Wallace, and whoever I have named.
Hello, Dr. Arnett. Again, I don't know, I met you early in 2010, I think, 2016. You came out to DC. In any case, my question relates to, I'm signing up to the
Wallace program. Yes.
I'm signing up again. And is there a coupon code?
Are you signing up again too? Sorry?
Yes, I'm signing up again. And yes, is there a coupon code? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's a good question. I would love to give you one. Whenever someone smiles at me like that and I say, can I get a coupon code? Yes, but you know what? I would have 300 other people asking me for the same coupon code, because these are the other members that are in ABBA right now.
All right.
Yeah, sorry about that. But it would be absolutely beautiful to welcome you back. Fantastic. Okay. Yes, anyone else I have mentioned? Otherwise, it will be Angela, Enahoro. Okay, let me go. I always take those who are most visible, waving into the camera. Epiphane, Jackie Dallas, My Ifi, Ishak. Hold on. Keep on waving. Humphrey. Keep on. Heron. Karewa. Okay, let's do this first. Okay, go ahead. If I have mentioned your name, if you're early in the alphabet, you go first. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Hello.
Go. Yes.
Hi. You guys hear me? Okay. So quick question. I'm a member of the African important class, and I know we currently work with Swiftly, and you did mention about DHL. Do we still continue working with Swiftly, or we kind of wait till we have the DHL set up completely?
Yes, okay, two things in Ahuro. So our other partners out of Ghana, first of all, they deal with any shipment, no matter the size, even if it's a container load. DHL will only be dealing with sample shipments and probably shipments over 200 kg by air. So it's as it concerns air shipment only. Excuse me. Yes, Swiftly is a comparison website, so you can actually, these are our partners. I'm just going to mute everyone for background noise. Okay. You can still continue to compare, because frankly, it may take a little bit time with DHL, because they said our business model is unique and they actually need to get their technical team together and to see how they can install this, you know, so they are kind of building something unique for our platform. And so I expect this, you know, to take a month to two. We have already agreed on the partnership deal. They're drafting the contract, but it's about how is it actually being done. So I don't know, Ate, you're in the room, maybe a month. I mean, we said we would want to get this done by what, end of February, but you never know. Okay.
Yes,
so just
it might. It might take a couple of months before we're very ready. But as you said, we're working as fast as we can, and the technical integration may be new for them, so that might take a longer time. But once we get
Ate is in the room. Signed, I'm so excited.
Once we get the contract signed, we can get going.
Ate, please, this is Ate, okay? You're coach and expert for importing out of Africa. Ate, why don't you just share a couple of lines how you were sitting in this Zoom room patiently listening to me on my never-ending introductions and insights, and how you ended up running a successful brand, Sawa. Maybe, take a couple of minutes to share your story, Ate.
Yes, so I started by exporting products to the continent. I was not very successful with that. I'd stayed too long away from the continent to actually understand how business was done there. And I was one of those people who wanted to do it on my own. I didn't need a coach. I didn't need anybody because I already knew how to do it. So I started my business on the continent. It wasn't very successful. I moved in Cameroon, right? And trust me, it was in the best of places. It was an emotional decision based on the fact that I came from there. So long story short, as Dr. Hannah says, she doesn't want to tell you all her stories. I don't even want to tell you because I was way, 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 way lower than where she was. And when I came back, I decided if I can export products from here to the African continent, and we need a lot of manufacturing and import substitution there, maybe I can start bringing African products to the West. So I went online. I'd known about Dr. Harden a little bit, but I had not really followed her program. Went online, started watching her videos, and yes, can the woman talk? And yes, can she talk sense? So I listened to all the sense she talked. She was actually one of my first coaches, which I got free online. And then I decided to join her program. I thought, maybe if I pay something spiritually, I might actually get something too. So I joined her program and joined some wonderful people there. But I had a little bit of experience of doing business, a little bit of experience in quality management and import and export. So I put all of that together, found a partner, and then launched the brand. And we're doing well. Norway is a small country. There's very much more to do. And 2 years after that, I decided, let me get back to Dr. Hannah and tell her, those challenges I have, I see many people having on the program. I can help them. I'm also studied entrepreneurship in developing countries. I know how to look at value chains. I have both the experience, the failure, of course, and the knowledge to help people. So she boarded me and we started helping. And I realized that a lot of people are getting help from the import program. And this 2021, we're looking up to fantastic, great things happening. She says them very mildly, but there's a lot going on. And with the new ALU, African Leadership Academy, university employees in Kigali, Dr. Hanet in Kigali, Crystal and the team, I think there's a lot happening this year. So if anybody's still on the fence, I was listening to you talking about people on the fence. I just wanted to push them on the other side if I could. But I know times are hard. Things are difficult for people. Put your heads together as much as you can. This is Africa's time. 2020 to 2030. If you don't invest in that continent, you'll beat yourself in 2021, 2031, I promise you. So join the program, do your best, get advice, join the others, share your knowledge, and let's do this together. Cheers.
Thank you, Ati. Please leave a comment if you appreciate. Ati, I should hire you as my sales representative. This was this was brilliant. Thank you so much, Crystal. I mean, let's end this with another sharing of our link in the chat box. Thank you so much, Ati. This was completely. I didn't even know if he was in the room or not. Okay, love it. Yes, thank you so much, Ati. That was brilliant. Okay, great. So where were we? Everyone I called A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Next.
Angela. Okay,
yes,
that would be Angela. Greetings, Dr. Harnett. Peace, love, respect, blessing. I just salute you for all the work that you are doing. I've signed up finally for ABA. My question is more logistics because we'll have an opportunity to share my business ventures in the academy. But I signed up and I don't see how to get to the import. I signed up for the Quantum Leap, but I don't see how to get to the importing content. Is that separate? Will you all send us a link or just a little help navigating the portal?
Yes, as I said, usually the Quantum Leap includes, you know, my business trips to Africa and all that. We didn't have that year. And so I just said, just sign up to ABBA and then Crystal, she will add you for free by tomorrow to the importing program.
All right, thank you.
I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Okay. Fantastic. ABCDFG, whoever I called.
Dr. Harnett, is there a way to invest in existing ABBA companies to create residual income?
In existing ABBA companies, absolutely. I mean, some ABBA, ABBA members are sharing what they're doing and they're saying if you want to partner. Here's what I say, because I'm always very transparent and usually, maybe this is my German background, I say what I think. So what I would usually say, just because someone is your ABBA fellow member, you know, don't just partner and invest based on that, because that can also be an emotional decision. And you don't really know each other, or you don't really know how consistent that person or business is. So I would say, don't make quick decisions in this regard. Yes, it can be. I know also some other members have partnered and very successfully so, but I personally do not recommend it. However, I don't, make the floor open and say, promote your business and other members can invest. I don't do that. I go with businesses that I know are succeeding already, and I suggest you invest and partner with those, not with startups that may be struggling. Having said that, can you use the platform to introduce your business and ask other ABBA members to partner with you? Absolutely. You're free to do that. Yeah? Okay, fantastic. ABCDFGHKLMNAOP. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Harnett.
Yes, Jackie. Yes, please, Jackie.
Hi. I wanted to ask you, if you've got an online business, can you use that to start a business in Rwanda? An online business, something you're doing.
Oh, right. Yes, absolutely. You can register, but then the question would be, well, here's the thing. The question would be, first of all, yes, you can. Okay. But then the question would be of taxation, right? Because you may then be falling under double taxation. USA, I think you're at, and then Rwanda. UK. Okay, I didn't listen properly. I should have known. Okay, Jackie, sorry. So you fall under double taxation, UK and Rwanda, and that's the challenge, and that will actually cost you in terms of time and challenge. Because you are being considered, your business operates where most of your business activity takes place and where you take the money. And if your business activity takes place in the UK mostly, and you take your money there in a UK bank account, you're actually a UK business. Could you then open a branch in Rwanda? Yes, you can open a branch, that you can do. But you need to see, okay, what are the benefits of it? Because you will also get some disadvantages in that, such as documentation, double taxation possibly, and the whole reporting to the tax office. So I think this is something.
I'm planning on going there. I thought, could you start something before you actually get there? Can you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. In actual terms, can you register a business in Rwanda while you're not in Rwanda? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can.
So that's what I wanted to do, but maybe with an online business, you know. But like you said, I'll have double taxation.
Yeah, double tax. So I would really wait maybe until you're here.
Right.
Are you? Yeah. I mean, if you're joining the ABBA, these are the kind of topics that we will address in terms of, because when we're if the economic downfall is going to come and it will hit the US and the UK probably first, then we want to make sure, okay, what strategies or what steps can we take to kind of protect our income, the financial assets we have, or our bank accounts. Yeah. So we'll discuss that in more detail. But yes, you can register.
You could raise money online so that when you get there, you could start a business. You could do it that way, maybe, instead of setting up the business online over there. Maybe just try and raise some money online and then take that money to start something when you get there. That sounds easier.
Yes. Yes. Having said that, it's it's difficult often to start a business in order to then finance another business. You know, I would already start now wherever you are. With what you want to start, the industry, I would already start with that, even if you're abroad. It could be a slightly different model, but still in the same area, the same industry. To start something in order to then finance your other startup. A lot of people are trying to take this approach. It hardly ever works. Okay. It's not easy to start anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I've changed everything to online now. So that's why I was asking.
Jackie, I'm so sorry. I know I would love to continue with you, but it's very late at this time at our end. We have a few more people queuing.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jackie. And the realities are kicking in. My kids waiting upstairs. School tomorrow morning, online school. Okay, so everyone who I have called, take your microphone. Okay, and straight to the question, please. Straight to the question. We'll do a fast run now.
Yeah, okay. Can I talk?
Yes, please. Ishak.
Yeah, so right after that, what I want to know is what sources do you go to keep an eye on what is trending on the market? What websites do you visit? What magazines do you read? What news outlets do you follow? That's my first question.
Okay, in regards to what kind of data? Give me a little bit more, because there's a lot of data and information. I research a lot, but in regards to what exactly? Opportunities, economic downfall.
Personally, I'm aspiring to be an importing agent, and what I want to import is moringa products.
Oh, okay. Okay. So how okay, fantastic. So first of all, you want to understand, how African countries compare in that, which countries produce moringa. There's countries that produce moringa, but then you also want to understand what are the regulations in these countries, because some of them are higher risk and some of them are lower risk. And it's easier to do a trade deal, let's say, or to partner with a supplier in a lower risk country in Africa than a higher risk country. So, one thing that you can do in terms of ease of doing business, there's a World Bank ranking, and I know many of you will be, the hair will go up when you hear World Bank, but it's a global ranking of all economies in the world. And basically what they're putting together in those rankings is only business, what do you call them? Business processes. So how long do they take, for example, registering your company? Does it take 24 hours or does it take a month? Access to electricity, is it easy or difficult if you have a manufacturing? Exporting across borders, how much does it cost? If your investment fails, is there a court that allows you to make a case as a foreigner, or is there no court? So these are really facts. And these facts have been brought to the world, but they come from government websites and government departments. So departments, I should say, not websites. So these are facts. Now, this World Bank ranking will give you a rank of countries in terms of ease of doing business. And the African countries that are ranking at the top, well, a top among all countries. And the very top, you have, of course, European and East Asian countries, but that are ranking high up. These are countries with a ease of doing business. That means the government has put in place many regulations to make business easy for investors and business people. And therefore, you will find a very enabling business environment. And that will allow you to cut down your risk considerably operating with these countries. That's just one quick tip. Since we have no time, I hope this was helpful, Ishak. Next, please.
Martin, hello.
Hello.
Yes, Shariva, and then Shariva, and then
yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, Shariva, go ahead. Just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's Shariva Martin. I did join the program, but I was just subscribing and not enough time to really get down and follow the program. I'll check where I am. I'm paying monthly, but I'm interested in getting full on. My question is, I am in education, and 6 years ago, the UK government literally tore apart the curriculum and designed a new curriculum. And the new curriculum is based on current 21st century perspective of education. And one of the
Shariva, I'm so sorry because it's late and we have people queuing and my kids need to go to bed.
Yes.
Just quickly your question. I'm sorry.
What I wanted to ask is there a possibility, because I'm a long-term teacher who is really passionate about changing things, especially grassroots education in Africa, would I be able to find from this platform educationists and especially young people? I was very interested in the university we're talking about, young people who can actually articulate the curriculum by designing learning materials that can be used online. And I'm just interested
all right.
in getting that with people like that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your question. So, first of all, in the academy, we take on any country, any industry, any business model. You know, it's up to you how much you follow and learn and implement it in a way that it becomes a successful business model, not just an idea. From idea, you have to create a business concept, and then you have to start implementation, and there will be so many challenges, and the ABBA is basically there to walk you along that journey. You know, what I would say, Shariva, just maybe as a quick tip, when it comes to this kind of learning and curriculum, you know, yes, I would go to markets again such as Kenya. Kenya education is huge, and the reason also why I would say Kenya is because it has a high amount also of private schools. I know you said grassroots and maybe the more vulnerable and so on, but if you want a successful business model, you need to see how you monetize that. And you monetize it first with people who can actually pay you, such as, you know, richer parents, for example. So you would focus first maybe on the private schools, how you can provide value to those schools. And then once your business runs successfully, you can then look towards the poorer communities. That's the kind of approach I would be taking. And yes, so much more we can say, but unfortunately time is up and we've been here for ages.
Dr. Harnett, really fast.
Hello,
what are your thoughts on the stock market?
Can I jump on it, please?
What are your sources for the economic downturn? What are your thoughts on the stock market? Really fast.
Okay. Chelsea, were you in my ABCDEFG?
No, I was just trying to go really fast.
I love go-getters, but today I need to keep my word. So, sorry,
can I jump on it?
Yes, Epifan, were you in my APZ? Did I call you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
I was. Okay, thank you, Dr. Arnett, for setting up these workshops. I'll just go quick into it. Talking about investing. So there are some of us who have now we don't have that much money for now, but we are willing to do something. Are there entities or credible entities that can collect grassroots investors who want to invest some money into Africa economy? So if there are some entities on your platform as such, or can they come out so we can know them and we can see how we can partner with them?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Evifan. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, there's two ways. First, there's people who are investors and who are looking for opportunities, right? And I will mute everyone. So I will mute. Okay. Okay. So there are investors who are looking for opportunities in Africa. So you can be the link in this regard. So you're making opportunities available and you link the investors to opportunities. And that is also a way you can make income without, without putting money in. You're just connecting them and then you're getting a fee or a percentage. Then also you have people in Africa who look for investors. They have the opportunity and now they're looking for investors in their business. So the other way around, again, it doesn't cost you much. You just connect the two, bring them together, and then get a fee for your service or a percentage of a done deal. So both of that works as a model. Do we have people, both of them in the academy? Yes, we do. Members mainly want to invest, but we're bringing people on who are looking for investment. And one of my old colleagues from Tanzania emailed me, and he said, now I'm looking for investors. And he asked if he can present in the academy. So yes, we do have that, but I would not share it on this platform, Epifen, because this is what we work on in the inner circle then, where I know we have people who are committed. Here you have people. I know the most of you are engaged and committed, but you haven't really shown that commitment. So yesterday I went to YouTube.
Do you suggest that I should join like ABA before I can get access to such opportunities? Or?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. Yes, Epifen, absolutely. And I hope you will understand, yesterday I looked through the YouTube chat and there was a crazy guy just, I don't know, sharing stuff and saying stuff, and he was disrupting the whole thing, but I couldn't see that, So what I'm trying to say, I don't want that crazy guy. I blocked him, it was a crazy guy out there. And I don't want him to get access to our key people who are investors. So I know that crazy guys like him will not join. So it's important for me also to filter, to make sure we are doing this professionally, and people who are joining the academy, I know they have invested, so they have a certain amount of seriousness, and then I can introduce them to my personal contacts. You see, these are my personal network. I cannot share it out there with the public. It would be unprofessional, and I'm sure my network would not enjoy getting a phone call from the crazy guy from YouTube. Okay, so that is my answer.
You. Thank you anyway. Thank you. I got you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna take two more.
Okay. Yeah, Dr.
Humphrey,
Harnett.
I had called you, Humphrey. Who else had I called? Japheth. Yes, you've been also holding like your hands up. Okay, it's Humphrey and Japheth, and then we will close. Yes.
Okay, just a follow-up from yesterday's session. In terms of diversification, is it which one is more preferable? To diversify within an industry or to diversify across industries?
Oh, this is an interesting one. I would say, well, here's two things how I would approach it.
Okay.
If it is a business that you're running, diversify within your industry, because you cannot possibly quickly set up another business. Well, you can, but that takes time, and it will take the energy and the focus of the business you already have in your early years. If you're very well, accomplished business person, of course you can set up another business in a different area. But I think it is not easy to set up anything successfully. And if you're starting a business or you have quite a new business, diversify within that industry so you are keeping the oversight of everything, but you could diversify across market in that industry, but you know already what you're doing instead of starting something completely from scratch and trying to understand that. But if it's about investments, then I would diversify most definitely across industries and across countries.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Humphrey. Yes, Yafet, please go ahead.
Dr. Harnett, thank you so much for the opportunity today. I'll try to keep it brief, but have 3 areas that I'd like you to ask to answer. One, I'm in the affordable housing market in the US, so I'm interested in determining which area in Africa do you feel may have more incentives or sources for affordable housing, such as in the United States, we use a tax credit program to assist in building and leveraging the private sector. And then today too, you also spoke on two areas, logistics, such as transportation, and the food freezers that touched my interest, particularly as I visited Ghana last year and know of logistical issues. And I believe the food freezer will help a lot of women there as they were trying to get to the market selling their goods. So what would be your advice on connecting further into, for example, purchasing motorcycles to assist with transport, as well as the food freezer as opportunities for smaller development and profitability, and then moving forward to the affordable housing aspect?
Okay, so sorry, Yafet. So the last bit, just the last sentence was, repeat that again, please, the last sentence.
So I asked, what would be your advice on the logistics and the food freezers, trying to help women who would be transporting to the market, trying to get their goods there before I parlayed into the larger, which would be a larger investment, such as the affordable housing and an investment there.
Okay, Yafet, thank you. So it would really kind of depend on what your goal is financially and what your objective is. So the business model with setting up the cold store room, solar powered, is in my view a good model to save money, because you're going to make, you know, every year you're going to make about, let's say, $15,000. So in 10 years, that's $150,000, and that's much more than you would get in any bank, especially during an economic downfall, right? So I see this as a very good long-term savings model with great impact on local communities, and possibly, if you you know, live a simple life, possibly also as something to maintain you. So that would have that objective, in my view, the best role of this business model. When it comes to housing, affordable housing, it is a much more complex business model. I don't think one can kind of feed into the other. I believe they are completely separate.
Yes.
Yes. So it's more for diversification, yes, I would believe. And then, so the affordable housing, here's what I would do. For those of you interested in affordable housing, I would go to some of the top government, sorry, again, let me rephrase. I would go to the investment promotion centers, government sites, websites of the countries that you're interested in. So as I said yesterday, you type into Google investment promotion center, and then you put next to it the country. Senegal, Ghana, Botswana, Namibia, Mozambique, Ivory Coast, Kenya, whatever you're interested in. And then you will find on that Investment Promotion Council website their top agenda for the country. Some countries have as their top agenda affordable housing. Kenya, for example, has, Rwanda has, it's in the big four for Kenya. You know, affordable housing is a big national agenda. Here in Rwanda as well, you know, and you will find it in other countries as well. So that is important, because for affordable housing to work, I mean, of course, you can build 1 or 2 units here or there, but usually that would be then affordable housing for the diaspora. That you can do with a unit here, 2 units, 5 units. But if you want to do affordable housing for low-income Africans, yes, we are looking at higher volumes. Yes. And these higher volumes would be done in cooperation both with government and in cooperation with local banks. Yeah. And so you will need a government that, number one, has it as the top of the agenda, and number two, that is prepared to work with the private sector on affordable housing. So again, since I'm here in Rwanda, I know the situation here a little bit better. I've been coming back to Rwanda many years. So here, for example, the government gives land to investors for affordable housing. So that's the input from government. And I think the same is true for Kenya and other countries. That's the input of government in that partnership. You will get the land for free, and then they will introduce you to the banks that are in charge of the affordable housing mortgages. Then you will make a partnership with the banks, and then you are basically on your way, and you need to bring the money from investors outside. So that's the way to go. The first step is to find out which countries do offer or put that at the top of the agenda among the countries that are of great interest to you. And the second thing for you would be to do it in a country that is relatively low in risk. You know, Kenya is low risk, an amazing country where you could start this. But then if you're mass producing houses, Kenya, unfortunately, is still very high in risk in corruption. And the housing and construction industry is an industry mostly affected, is a high risk industry in a low risk country, you know, but high risk on corruption. So these are the kind of things you need to take on board for those of you who are going into high risk industries for the first time operating in Africa. If you've been operating in Africa for 10 years or 20 years, you may know how to navigate that. But if you're new, it will create headaches and a lot of risk for you. So then, since you're in a high risk industry, such as construction or affordable housing, where you need the government cooperation and the banking cooperation, and then you have contractors for the housing industry, it's important that you go into a low risk country. Ease of doing business is one good indicator. But we teach that also in the academy if you want to join. So, Yafet, I hope that was some.
I am in the academy. I joined 2 weeks ago. This is my.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. So yeah, I look forward to see more of you.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So you're welcome, Yafet. And yes, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, you know, we still have a full house. What, 3.5 hours later? I don't even know how long we've been here. Oh my God, 3.5 hours. Crazy. I don't know if I'm more crazy or you're more crazy sitting here for 3.5 hours. But anyway, it was an absolute honor and fun and meaningful to spend this time with you. You know, it's almost 10 p.m. We didn't have dinner. You know, my kids are binge watching upstairs. They have school tomorrow. Don't worry. It has been worth it. I look so much forward to welcoming many of you to the Academy and also the importing program. We are pioneering a lot of things here together. It's wonderful to be at a community where we kind of we share a lot of same values and a vision for, you know, greatness of Africa and of humankind. And we all want to also play our part in making this world a better world, and especially letting Africa finally shine. And all of us who have been maybe in the background for too long, and it's time. And this is the right time, a challenging time, but packed with opportunity. And I can't wait to get started. So one more time, Crystal, share the link, please. Thank you so much, Crystal and the team, for sitting in for so long. I'll make up for this on a Sunday. I appreciate really, really also your contribution. Thanks to my team, my coaches. And so, yeah, all the best to everyone. Stay healthy and safe. And above all, don't forget to take action in order to make changes in your life. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care, stay healthy, and bye for now. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.